Welcome to another exciting, explosive edition of the Collar Nation radio show. Welcome. Now, folks, I've been on a winning streak here. When I be telling you that like, share, and subscribe, that tempers are going to flare. Now, when you got topics like Ghana making a case for slavery reparations, will Ghana get the bag? Will Ghana get the big payday? Will Black America be the cucks again, sitting around with nothing? Now, when you got like 3 days in a row, I built the thing called. It started with this week Sunday night with the delineation versus distinction thing, and I built on that last night with the idea of the cuckold versus the pan-cuckoldism and pan-Africanism. Now, tonight, I'm like, Ghana is making a case for reparations. Now, we talked about distinction one day, and then we talked about cuckoldism, as opposed to real being involved. Now, the question is, are we going to be cucks in this situation with Ghana? Ghana's making a case for reparations. Then the question is, right, what is reparations? I have yet to anybody tell me what the hell is reparations. Everybody thinks, for the average Black person, layman, they think reparations is everybody's going to get a check in the mail, for $100,000. They think that's possible. These are people who don't know the system, don't know how the world works or anything like that. They really do think that the government has $100,000 to give every Black person in America, because it's the right thing to do, and they believe that to the point where they think, oh man, the Ghanaians will be sitting there spending our reparations check. It would be funny if it wasn't so sad and pathetic. So folks, this is really funny, funny. You got people arguing about something that's never going to happen. You're never going to see any money from the United States as far as a reparations check, right? So this is all theatrics and everything like that. This is theatrics. This is theater. This is comedy at best and everything. A sideshow. I'm not gonna say, look, it's interesting for a sideshow. At least the conversation being started about the history of slavery and whatnot, because I get the impression from a lot of Africans that most of them don't even know this transatlantic slave trade happened. For years, I looked at Dr. Arikana and it was colonialism. And that was just so annoying. At least Ghana, the first country, doesn't talk about colonialism. They talked about the transatlantic slave trade. What Ghana does is connecting what happened to Black America in our history with the mother continent. Before, those two things were two separate things, colonialism and slavery. We argued about slavery. And they argued about colonialism. Woe is me, we were colonized, while benefiting from the colonial structure that was left behind. So it's a really two different things. And people put it together. Slavery and colonialism, no, it's two different things, right? What this Ghana thing does, by Ghana taking a step and making slavery, the transatlantic slave trade, the best argument and everything like that, they think they can get more by uniting the Black people in the West. But yeah, you got these ADOS FBA people out there. Ghana don't speak for us. There's set to be a planned counter protest by some FBA people. And I know when I listen to things, these are a bunch of bots. Look, there's a lot of white supremacists, Asian supremacists, all these people who are posing as FBA people. And it's about, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. And they got people, the argument is the Ghanaians are after our reparations check. So therefore, what it is this: they do not like the fact that a foreign government, a foreign government, a foreign entity is basically making inroads into a major segment of the American population, which is Black America. That's what this is all about. Has nothing to do with no friggin' FBA, whatever like that. The so-called FBA people want Black America completely isolated, right? Who would that benefit? Remember, the main thing why they took Garvey down is because he made contact with a foreign state, Liberia. The idea that Black people in America, you could do whatever you want inside the borders of America. Malcolm X said that. As long as you do anything inside the borders of America, you could, like this. When Jesse Jackson did things like went to Cuba and sat down with Fidel Castro, that causes alarm. When Paul Robeson, let me give you some history lessons, folks. Black history must continue. When Paul Robeson sung the Volga Boatman and went over to Russia, they wanted to kill him. They said, when he comes back to America, we're going to lynch him. Because he went to Russia and was well received by the Russian people and performed for Russia. That was unfair. See, the Black man in America, the white man, does not tolerate you going to another country besides America. Like the Black people went to Paris. That was basically sacrilege. Black people getting involved in the apartheid struggle in South Africa. That's sacrilege. Anytime a foreign government does anything inside of Black America, even when Mandela came here, right? They tried to make it seem like, it was mainly the energy behind Mandela was Black America. We was out there, oh, Mandela. He came here in 1990. I remember that. The whole country shut down. We were out there. He was in Yankee Stadium and everything like that. Everybody was like, man, there was like a revival, a connection between Black America and South Africa, and the anti-apartheid movement, right? They did not like that because Black people were thinking beyond the borders of America. That's what this is all about. When you think beyond the borders of America, you are now a threat. They don't like the fact that I come to Liberia. Why? Because Liberia is a foreign state. Whatever you do in America, that's why they created the FBA movement for you. So whatever you do, whatever you talk about is confined to the 50 states and the borders of America. Why do you think people like Nat Measy hates the fact that I'm over here? They don't want you having anything outside, particularly going to a Black country. That is a no-no. Black people going to Africa on any circumstances is a no-no. So that's what you're dealing with. That's what these fake FBA people out about. This is not about no damn reparation. They just don't like the fact that Black America is 45 fucking million people. When we start building our own relationship, I'd say like this, man. Now the world is seeing now. Why do you think Iran is trying to reach out to Black America? White America's scared. Before, see, they know they can't count us being this loyal people anymore because we've pretty much said we don't give a shit about America anymore. We don't care. And I'm like this. I'll say this on record. I don't give a fuck who's listening. If Iran wants to do business with Black America, you want to come over here. And that's the whole thing is these countries don't come over because America has a good propaganda and make it seem like Black people in America are so loyal Americans that we would never show loyalty or we do business, whatever like that with foreign countries, whatever. Like, white Americans do it all the time. You say, I bet you got white American businessmen over there, but they're free. That's white. You don't have to be strictly, but Black people, we're like a dog. You got to be on a leash in America. So we're saying China, the Arabs did not fucking enslave no Black people, Arabs, that's another thing. That's supposed to be our good friend Ben. Going on, the Arabs enslaved Black people. No. Europeans enslaved Black people, It's nonsense. It's friggin' nonsense and whatnot. And just like I said, if you love white people, Ben, if you love them, you love massa, that's fine. You know, but if I had to choose between the white man and the Arab, I'm going to choose the Arab. My mortal enemy. You know, I don't remember no Iranian ever calling me a nigger. I don't remember any Iranian bringing me here on a slave ship. I don't remember any Iranian owning a damn plantation. I'm sorry to tell you that. I don't give a fuck about North Africa. I don't give a fuck about North Africa. They can go to hell. I'm talking about what happened to my people via the transatlantic slave trade. That's all I care about. If you didn't participate in that transatlantic slave trade, whatever like that, I don't care what you do. I don't care about what Arabs did to Africans. I'm going by what happened to my ancestors. My ancestors were drugged from the Congo across the Atlantic, and they weren't drugged here by no Arabs. So I got no beef with Arabs. Now some other people, if you feel like you from North Africa, you can prove that if you got a beef with Arabs, then that's you. But my ancestors came here via the transatlantic slave trade by the Portuguese and the Dutch. No, my African brothers didn't sell me to the white man. That's another lie. People keep saying African brothers. That's another lie. People keep saying. They keep saying that lie. Keep repeating that lie because what people like Ben are cowards. They don't want to deal with the reality as the white man is your fucking mortal enemy. And the bottom line, the African in Africa is not the enemy. The man who enslaved us in America, the man who wrote into law that black people were not human beings, those are the enemy. Africans never put on law and paper and said we're going to be slaves for the rest of our life just because we're black. That's a difference. So it is what it is. Ben, you don't know what you're talking about. You guys a bunch of freaking nonsense. It was more complicated than that. That somebody selling somebody for umbrellas. That's what they always tell you. Slave trade was a horrible slave trade, but it was really no choice. Europeans came with guns and whatnot, and they forced Africans into the transatlantic slave trade. It was forced upon Africans. Africans, look, Ben, I'm in Liberia right now. Nobody's thinking about no damn FBA. Everybody looks at FBA like you are a fucking joke. I don't even tell nobody I'm Black American over here because you guys look so fucking stupid and ghetto from the standpoint of over here. I mean, you guys look really bad right now. Black people in America look horrible right on the world stage. So I don't know what to tell you, Ben. But the good thing is Ghana might be getting your reparations money. That's a good thing. I hope Ghana gets that reparations money and do something with it. I think if those reparations be paid to Ghana, Ghana could build some nice schools and education and and some railways and some houses. Man, wouldn't you like that, Ben? Wouldn't you like Ghana to have billions of dollars to upgrade its ports and airports and stuff like that, Man, I think Ghana will put that reparations money to good use, man. Build some nice infrastructure. So I think we could say now that Ghana will be getting Ben's money. Ben shared it. I already said, look, reparations come. Y'all gotta have my part, It doesn't matter, Ben. They're getting your reparations check. Now, what you say? You might as well be brothers with them. That's the only way you're gonna get paid out, man. They might give you a little something, So that's what we're talking about tonight, right? Ghana is making a case for reparations, and I think Ghana is going to get a big payday. The reason why Black people in America will never get reparations is because you don't have a nation state. Ghana's coming as a government, a nation state, and that's going to be talking to other nation states. Political and diplomatic channels are going to be moved. Ben Yusuf right here has no government. If him, Bantu Mandinka, and everybody got out, and Tariq got out there, nobody's gonna listen to him because he doesn't have a government, you know. Turn your video on. I want to see a giraffe, your window, a Tariq, and she's well, dude. I'm in Africa right now. Everybody knows where the fuck I'm at, you know. Everybody knows I'm in that fucking Africa. I'm in West Africa. I'm in Liberia. Everybody knows where I'm at, you know. So it is what it is. Ben. You know, I think we should just all say now that uh, the reparation, good thing reparation is coming. You know, and the other good thing is we have the government of Ghana who will be the recipient of it. And I think the money would be basically used better in Ghana than Ben Yusuf having $100,000. You know, what is Ben going to do with $100,000? You know, what exactly are you going to do with $100,000, Ben? Besides blow it on foolishness and whatnot, you know, buying liquor and women and, new rims and whatnot for your car and whatnot. Yeah, we got to put that money to good use. And Ghana is a country that needs money. So Ghana can make the case for reparations. I'm all for it, man. Ghana can make the case for reparations. Oh, yeah, man, let's do it, you know. So it is what it is, folks. Yes. What I'm sick and tired of is you losers in Black America lumping us all together. Now, I'm part of Black America's greatness, right? But I don't basically talk about FBA because FBA links me with the fucking scum in Black America. People I don't like, the ghetto, the trash, the pseudos and all these other people like that. The people that actually get up there. And somebody did a comment on Dine Show and I said, yeah, the first black slave owner, he might have been already an Aboriginal black person. Yo, man, I am not FBA. You know, I consider myself an African American. I am not FBA. The people who identify with FBA are not with me. You're one of those pseudo people that talk a bunch of nonsense. That sun, moon, and stars bullshit. You guys believe you came from outer space. You believe you're already here. On one hand, you want reparations, and then on the other hand, you say slavery never happened. That's the one the FBA guy said, "Man, I refuse to believe we put cotton or whatnot." Then what do you ask for reparations for? I don't know. I got to figure that one out. I want reparations, but I refuse to believe that I was come from slaves. These people are crazy, man. These people are freaking nuts. Nutso. When you think of FBA, man, you think of these fucking hood rat chicks with bonnets on. And what they do is this is how it usually works, right? They'll sit there with their bonnets on, gaining weight, whatnot, eating 3 breakfasts and whatnot, chopping on chips and whatnot. Those bacon skin chips in the afternoon with some Doritos, whatever, and some grape soda, whatnot, looking all kinds of any kind of way, whatnot. Then they put those freaking stupid ass eyelashes on and whatnot. Don't get in the gym. They got all the cellulite on their arms and whatnot. And then when some African woman will be saucy when I get online and say something, call them a baby mama or whatever like that. All hell, I see some of these arguments, man. I'm like, how dare you Bush village, whatnot, it's like, there, you feed the hunger, all kinds of stereotypes about Africans, right? I mean, people need to understand you. FBA need to understand Africa is on the come up, man. They're on the come up. Very soon, they're going to pass you. While you sit in America doing not a damn thing, tearing your communities up because you don't want to tell Ray Ray and Pookie to pull their pants up and straighten themselves up or whatnot, you're letting your communities go down the tubes. That's your fucking FBA to hold on to, is this so-called belief in that they're connected to America somehow. And it doesn't really matter because America's like anybody in here, you know. America wants to replace you. You think you got some special place in America, and America wants to get rid of you. They want to replace you with these immigrants, you know. You know, the FBA types, not me, not Black America, you know, but the FBA types, y'all disappeared. Nobody miss y'all fucking fools, you know. FBA, the moral compass. Yeah, right. Yeah, Tariq Nasheed's the moral compass of the world. Okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah. Lord High Tariq is the moral compass of the world. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Ben. You know, where have you been? Ben, you know. But I would like to see Ben with some reparations money. Like, I would like to see everybody get some money. I would like to see Ben to Mandinka get money when I FBA all day. He can get out of the room, his bedroom singing FBA all day, whatnot, you know. And he can get out there and get himself something started in life and whatnot, you know. Instead of sitting online talking about FBA all day and blah, blah, blah. And his raggedy ass flag he puts up and whatnot. I love my brother Ben to Mandinka, you know. But yeah, we got to, like I said, we really have to really buckle down in Black America. You know, we just, there's a lot going on here, man. We got a lot of discussion to do, you know. We got a lot of discussion to do. You got other people moving in, man. It's like, yo, you know, we have a clean, moral, you know, okay. Yeah, I'm sure P. Diddy, you know, that's a clean moral compass. Oh, yeah, R. Kelly. Woo! Put out millions of records. P. Diddy and R. Kelly. Man, that's the cleanest moral compass I ever seen in my life. You know? And look at all the degenerate fucking what's the lady? Lotto, whatever like that, whatever's going on with that. And you got that Blueface and also, oh yeah, all these moral compass people. And oh yeah, man, Ben. Black America, the FBA is, oh wow, they're so moral people and that, you know. You know, people looking like fucking garbage and whatnot, you know, embarrassing us in the public and whatnot, you know. Yeah, they're the moral compass, you know. No, the black people that's doing their thing, like me, my family, and everything like that, we don't identify with black trash. The FBA is nothing but black trash. Just like you have white people that got trailer trash, the FBA is our version of trailer trash. You know, the FBA is our version of ghetto trailer trash. Ignorant black people, whatnot, you know. And what gets me is like the FBA people. I love how they get online and TikTok and whatnot. They'll put on an outfit on and they try to pretend like they're middle class, civilized black people. And we know they're fucking ghetto as shit. Because the bottom line, the reason why we know you're ghetto as shit, because who has time to be making TikToks in the middle of the afternoon? You got all that time on your fucking hand. No, you sit there, you want to cosplay as a middle class, respectable, upper class or middle class black person, but you really hood and everything like that. And the bottom line, it just bothers you that somebody could come off the plane or the boat and look down on you. And not that they're looking down on you, you don't feel it. Look, let me tell you something. I don't give a fuck if a Nigerian is a fucking millionaire. There's nothing he could say to me to make me like, man, I wish I was a damn Nigerian. That's because I got it made in life, you know. I wouldn't trade fucking places with nobody. You know, and I know for a fact that the matter is most black immigrants, they want to be me. Since I know that, right, and I know that, I can't possibly be threatened by them. So, but if you are threatened by black immigrants, that means there's something wrong with you. That means you're lacking, and it shows. When you see FBA and them people talking and whatnot, they try to sound like they got it together. But the fact that they spend so much time demonizing Africans and worried about what a fucking stupid, ignorant Haitian woman got to say, what the hell would a Haitian, of all people, why would a Haitian rage bait or trigger you? For God's sake, a damn Haitian. For God's sake, a damn Nigerian. I just don't get it. Yeah, I really don't get it, man. Like I said, you guys, you FBA people ain't fooling me. You guys are coming up with thing. Why does the world look up? Who? The world does not look up to FBA. The world looks up to Black America. You FBA are the fucking embarrassment. You guys are hood boogers. Everybody knows the FBA, people who run around FBA are nothing but hood rats, like black trash, hood rats. It's not a lineage. Fucking trash is pseudo. Nothing but trash. FBA is not Black America because I don't identify with it. Nobody I know identifies with it. That's like saying the KKK is white America. She told but that girl, come on, she was actually obviously hurting. Look, for God's sake, she's a Haitian. She's probably on deportation orders. Have some fucking empathy. I mean, goddamn, Black people have been picking on Haitians, calling them Haitian body odor, and all that shit like that. Cause I feel bad because when I grew up, man, we used to have a field day on Haitians and whatnot. I feel bad now because I know some of my Haitian friends that I grew up with, and I'm like, I feel bad now that how I acted when I was a teenager, man. The jokes and shit like that. When I didn't understand Haiti, and when I don't know why I hated Haitians. We used to crack on Haitians all the time growing up. They were always a butt of our jokes and everything like that. So I feel bad about that. That's why I act the way I do right now in my life right now. I feel bad about that. Say what you want. Those are still our brothers and sisters. We can distinguish ourselves, but we can't delineate. They're still Black. But if you feel like some sort of way when a Haitian says to you, man, you are saying like this. Well, the bottom line is this, yeah, but the bottom line, Black people in America don't like jokes. Some people take joking the wrong way. Sometimes jokes have meaning behind them. Sometimes, like the movie Goodfellas said, sometimes I'm just busting your balls. But sometimes you don't sound like you're kidding, man. It's like, yeah, sometimes people really mean it. Sometimes really people mean it, man, Yeah, yeah, just like I don't hate all Nigerians, man. Just some individual Nigerians I can't stand, Yeah, some Nigerian individual Nigerians I could see myself living without. But the thing is, though, like I said, I look at my life when the life I had, the life I have, and everything like that, and I look at what everybody, like when I see here, Kidola, Kidola is, I guess, obviously comes from some sort of affluence in Nigeria. I wouldn't want to trade places with Kidola. I don't want to live in fucking Edo State. I don't want to trade places with Mike Olawale. I don't want to do that shit. Are you kidding me? I kill myself for whoever made me. So when they say all that nonsense and whatnot, okay, yeah, all right. I don't want to trade places with nobody in the fucking diaspora. And being born Black in America with our culture is like hitting the fucking lottery. We accept your forgiveness, calling us names, caller. You send us some money. Porter Prince. I don't think so. I don't fucking think so. That's going too far. I'm saying that, when I was growing up, I didn't know much about Haiti. I didn't start appreciating Haiti until I got grown and I understood why they are the way they are. When I understood Haiti, I started looking at it. It was 1986, I believe. I think in my senior year in high school. It was something about the Duvalier. I remember Haiti made headlines. And I didn't know Haiti had a fucking president. It was like this guy, Duvalier, was a poet. Something like that was going on. I was in high school, right? I don't remember what was going on. If somebody knows a Haitian history, could tell me what was going on. Anyway, basically, I was like, he stepped down from office. It was like on the news every night. And all I saw was Haiti. I saw buildings. I said, okay. I didn't know Haitian had buildings. I didn't know Haiti had cars and stuff like that. It was the first images of Haiti I saw, and I started changing my opinion about Haiti. I thought it was a jungle. And so that was back in '86, I believe. I was in high school. It was like 85, '86, one of those. And it was there was a Duvalier was Papa Doc Duvalier, something like that. I don't remember what was going on, but but that was my first images of Haiti, that I've seen on the news, you know, and I started studying the country in college when okay, the Haitian Revolution, Haitian this. I started taking people more seriously, and I studied when I learned about them. I studied them. But I realize Haitians aren't just people we pick on and clown and make jokes about. But you grow up, you grow out of that shit. Yep, I'm still in Africa. 3 more weeks. 3 more weeks. I'll be back on a plane. I don't know about that. I think every African country has its own personality. There's a lot of commonality among black people. Like you got a lot of so-called FBA black people. We in Africa. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. Everybody that calls themselves they're not African. They're indigenous America. Your twin is right here in Liberia. You got your twin right here in Liberia. There's somebody that looks like everybody in Black America right here. You can find your twin over here. People acting like there's something different and whatnot. You know, it's something different. Oh, I was a original Aboriginal. Well, how do you look exactly like the Negroes over here? Then the video footage is. I'll be honest with you. I have not really done. I'm trying to get it done this week. I've been putting it off one night because I haven't like this because my handler down here is flaking on me. So, but Wednesday I should have an interview or two, and stuff like that. That with those two interviews that I'm going to get is going to be worth it. I got some video footage, but they're not from the GoPro. They're from my camera. I'm going to post up on a thing, just showing the nightlife here in Liberia. I'm gonna take the GoPro and go to City Hall. I'm gonna take the GoPro and go to the monument. The monument. I'm gonna do that Wednesday. I'm gonna go take the GoPro and do the go to the Ducor Hotel and the Ducor and at the statue, the monument of J.J. Roberts. I'm gonna stand up on Ducor Hill. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take the thing and go down to Province Island. You guys are gonna like that one, Province Island. So I got my Province Island, I got the Ducor, stuff like that, and I got the museum. No, I don't have a drone. I had a drone, but I had a drone over here too. I spent a lot of money for it, but that's the next thing I want to do is I want to get an office built over here so I could keep stuff stored and stuff like that. Right now I got a house. I keep stuff in the house, but before I bought a lot of stuff and people were like, okay, I got it in my house, and stuff gets lost in the shuffle, and they'd be, oh man, it was stolen. Ah man, nigga, you fucking sold that shit because you didn't have no money. So in the future, as far as like equipment and stuff like that, I get next year, I definitely want to have an office over here, and build an office and everything, operate out of office, and then have certain people run it that I trust. 2 weeks of money left. Make sure you give your children some money. So, what the hell are you talking about? Complete drone kit. No, I only paid. I had a freaking nice drone kit, a nice one. It was only like $300. I ain't paying $900 for no damn drone. I could crash it and whatnot and burn. Get out of here. We got the right one. Unless it's military grade and I could shoot somebody with it from the sky. I don't want no drone. Unless a weapon, unless it has guns on it, a weapon, I'll pay $900 for it. But if it's just a regular picture drone, get the fuck out of here, $900. You gotta be kidding me. But yeah, folks, so Ghana is making the case for slavery reparations. Should Ghana get Should Ghana get the reparations, and what would they do with it? Now, how would that look if the governments of the world say, you know something, we're really apologize about slavery. We're going to give Ghana $1 trillion, right? Now, how would you basically take your case to friggin' Ghana to get your share of the $1 trillion, right? And I've always said this, right? If let's say they do come out with reparations, I bet you any amount of money, it'll be just a check you'll get in the mail for like $500. That's about it. I'll be like, thank you for your slavery or not. But every black person gonna get a check for $500, maybe some coupons of Popeyes or something like that to go with it, you know? But these people, all you people out there that are sitting back, you got people out there, man. I remember Yvette Carnell. She was the most convincing thing. See, she was actually doing because she has her glasses on and whatnot. And you have uneducated, ignorant black people who she sounds educated. I don't know what her education is, right? She sounds educated, right? And then she was meeting up with these white people. It's like, what is it about fucking seeing an older white guy? They're like, oh man, Yvette Carnell sat down with a white guy. Who the fuck was he? He's with some institute where so the fuck what, you know? And he was agreeing about reparations. So, okay. And right then and there, people were like, yep, I smell reparations, whatnot, you know? You guys said, nigga, you ain't smelling shit with your ass, you know? And people really thought because they saw Yvette Carnell and that Tone Talks, the Toad Talks, whatever, that clown, they saw them together shaking hands with white people, and they automatically assumed that, man, these people got it. Now, that's been 5 years. Where the reparations check at, folks? I told you no reparations are coming. Colin, man, you just a hating ass motherfucker. I said, look, man, people get mad at me when I talk like this, right? I'm just talking in reality. Colin, you a hater or whatnot. You know, you don't want nobody to get reparations. I'm not holding your damn reparations up. Oh, I get it. Guess what it is? The federal government's probably saying, you know, we were going to give you reparations, but we listened to College Genesis, and basically, you know, he told us not to give it to you. So people, you got people actually like accuse me of holding their reparations money up. You really had that, you know? Yeah. Yo, that guy, our Black Alpha, is a fucking clown. That nigga's like a 40-year-old YN. You know, he's a 40-year-old dude with hair like a YN, with a fake dreads like a YN. Dude was a cornball, man. He's a cornball. Oh man, he's funny, you know. Black Alpha, whatnot. You know, he's like overblowing this whole Ghana Ghanaians with the Michael B. Jordan. Dude, that ain't the end of the world. All it is a fact. Michael B. Jordan is not fucking Ghanaian, you know. You know, Ghanaians is silly. And also that whole thing is, you know, the diaspora wars is silly. It's foolishness, you know. Most people, look, this is how it is. Most people, they can talk all they want, right? I listen to my wife over here. She listens to watching Nollywood. I'm sitting there trying to look at this shit today. There's no way I could do this shit. The actress, man, she looked like she was a fucking transvestite. I mean, these people, they can't hold a candle to us. Music, nothing, right? So of course they're gonna friggin' we could produce somebody like a Michael B. Jordan, friggin' style. The man is friggin' good looking. He has style, everything he does when he comes from a part of Black America that we love. And so therefore, when people see that, of course they want to incorporate that. They want him to be part of him. So any opportunity to claim him, they want to do it. I get him like that. Only makes me feel prouder. But the bottom line, but the reality is, he belongs with us. You know, you know, Ben, man. If you're waiting on some reparations money, man, you'll be waiting a long time, bro. You know, I love to have beachfront property. Look, you are not going. Look, I said it's good to dream, folks. Like I said, black men and African men too are dreamers, right? You know something I learned? recently, the African man is always about what we should do, what we could do, what we were about to do. Those three things: what we should do, what we could do, and what we're about to do. Never doing and accomplishing. That's why Africans, they're dreamers. They're always selling you some big grand scheme. Like this thing with the president of Ghana could be another one of these Africans, what they call a white elephant project. Now, I never talked about white elephant project, but now it's time to introduce it, right? If you don't know understand what white elephant now, if you're a Nigerian or African, you probably understand what the term white elephant project means. Now, what gets people's attention if they see a white elephant? That's rare, right? It's all eyes on a white elephant. Oh, white elephant, man. Must got to be something magical to it, right? But the White Elephant Project in Africa is, and Africans are beautiful for this, right? They'll have an idea, right? And because they have governments, they have the ability to act on the ideas, no matter how, but the only thing Africans never do is follow through and complete it. White Elephant projects are projects that have big fanfare and everything like that. It sounds promising. It always sounds promising. You go to the event, wow, this is going to be launching this and whatnot. After 3 years, the projects usually collapse and everybody walks away from it. And the project, whatever it is, has been friggin' gutted, milked, whatever, a sideline, dismissed. There's so many. Nigeria is a graveyard for white elephant projects. Nigerians, Ogun Steel, Calabar, the Tanapa movie studios. These are all white elephant projects. Some people even think Echo Atlantic is a great white elephant project in Nigeria. Incomplete railway systems, highway systems, incomplete. Those are called white elephant projects, right? And because the African mind doesn't know how to complete something, it's like all fanfare, pump and look what we're doing and braggadocio. We got this. What seals it is when they always got a European doing ribbon cutting or some stupid shit like that, where we got this major investor involved, and that just to the African man, if white people involved, it must be a good thing. But what happens is, simple thing, mismanagement and everything, and the whole thing always ends up collapsing. You know, and it's never talked about again. They're called white elephant projects. The reason why it angers me is because simply, uh, yeah, yeah, I would say, yeah, Umar Johnson. That's our version of a white elephant project. That's school. That's a white elephant project. Thing is, though, the thing is, I always say now, what if we had $1 billion, right? And somebody get like the railways or port and whatnot, everything because Nigeria had all the means to develop. They had billions of dollars. They said Nigeria just on the books, there was $400 billion, not just not what they took in. There's about $400 billion Nigeria took in to complete all these projects, but they don't have the mindset. Part of it is when a new administration comes in, the previous administration usually on the way out, instead of having a transition, when they transition over, they basically take all the paperwork and all the stuff like that, files and everything like that. And the new administration takes over, and the project that they were working on stops. Where here in America, if you have a new government, you have road projects that are going on, you can have a new governor or mayor or anything. It's going to continue. That's called continuity. So that's what you have in Nigeria, in Africa in general. You know, Africa doesn't have the infrastructure or the means or the culture to have continuity. You know, it is what it is. But that being said, I don't like how Ghana had to go to the IMF for 28 times for loans and stuff like that. I don't know why Ghana can't see me. You know what I think it is? Like this. If a country does not industrialize, that means basically at least a third of your GDP comes from manufacturing and the distribution of branded goods that you manufacture in the country. That has to be 35 to 40% of GDP. And the other 35% should be service sector things, basically facilitating services from the wealth generated through an industrial base. And then the other 30%, like 10% towards that should be uh, public-private partnerships and stuff like that, public works and everything. You cannot build a country without a significant manufacturing base. Why? And people say, well, how do you call it? How do you like this? Because you are consuming. Africa consumes, but it doesn't produce. If you are eating cheese in a country, you should be making that cheese locally. I don't give a damn. Right now, you got Vietnamese vessels off the coast of Nigeria selling Nigeria's own fish. 200 million pounds of fish a year are caught by Vietnamese and Asian trawlers to sell back to Nigeria's own fish. In fact, Ghana imports finished chocolates from Swiss that started off in Ghana. The cocoa beans that makes Swiss chocolate, Belgian chocolates, all these other people that have famous chocolates come from Ghana and Ivory Coast. But do you know Ghana and Ivory Coast be eating the same chocolates that originate in the country? This is a result of a continued colonial structure. You know, so what I don't get is why do you got African Americans going over to these countries like they're gonna do something? That's what right one thing that really irks me and bothers me, right? It's like people say, yo, Kala, man, you should come to Africa and blah blah blah. I said, what the hell for? What are we gonna do? Well, Kala, you could open up a fucking a roadside stall selling. Get the fuck out of here. That's what that dude. What's his name that passed away a few years ago on Dynasty Show? The karate guy in Kenya. I forgot his name. I think he was on the run, but he was at a karate studio and I forgot his name. Forgot his name. He was a good brother too. Me and him had run-ins and whatnot. But he was a good brother. Amin Ra, I think his name was. Anyway, like, oh, Colin, you could be like this. Look, I'm looking at my life right here, like in America, right? I'm about to do a really big contract when I get back and whatnot. I'm gonna have a life going to nice. Yeah, Amin Ra. Yeah, he passed away. He passed away years ago. He passed away back in 2020, I believe. He passed away. That's why when he lived in Africa, he's probably not getting regular medical care and stuff like that. Yeah, he passed away. You know. So, but anyway, main thing is, I said, something I gotta still do. I don't know. He just died. No, Dynas would know. Dynas would know. The only person probably know that what happened to him was Dynas. But that's the whole thing. I worked so hard in America to be at a sort of position I'm in, executive when that position I'm in. I go to exclusive dinners and lunches and retreats and whatnot, all paid for and whatnot. And I'm like, I swear to God, I will not give that life up for nothing. I was willing to give that life up for Africa, right? If Africa basically had something for me, but I realize now that I'm seeing now how just not just Liberia, but all of West Africa. I'm seeing now just how slavery could have happened. I'm seeing how now just how slavery could have happened. I'm seeing how why we don't have a land, a nation state of our own. Why we haven't reversed 500 years of degradation. The answer should have been always, we were taken from our African homeland. We should have been returned to our African homeland. We're in our own land. not in colonial land, our own land, you know, and allowed to build and thrive. If we wanted that, we should have had the choice. But the fact that 500 years later, right, and the most powerful group of black people on the planet give America, its former slave actor, $1.6 trillion of our earned income goes right back into the white America's pocket. There's something, I don't know a whole lot, folks, but I think there's something not quite right about that. Black America generates through our labor, our talents, everything like that. They calculated $1.6 trillion, that we generate, in income a year from our hard labor and stuff like that. That's just on the books. And all that money goes back into the white system, right? It goes back to Walmart's, it goes back to Chevrolet dealerships, everything like that. White man gets all of our damn money. They're like they're entitled to our money. We just have it for a few hours when I say, oh, the white man gives it to you. Okay, y'all can have it for a couple hours, whatnot. And then by the end of the day, it's in the bank or you send it to the bill man and it's gone. You got to enjoy it for like 2 hours, and the money's gone because it's going right where it belongs, to the white man, to the white business establishment. I said, look, years ago, I was part of the buy black movement, right? We had apps and whatnot, that you could buy black with. If black people say, something, I'm gonna calculate everything I spend a month on coffee, sodas, eating out and everything like that. And I'm gonna make sure that 10% of what I eat and whatever like that, it's gonna go to a black business. I'm gonna have a black business that if we could discipline ourselves, make that part of our culture, we could put like billions of dollars back into black America overnight. We wouldn't need no damn reparations. Well, we can't do that because the white man makes sure that we're always distracted with foolishness. We're not organized and disciplined on that level because we got distracted. And the biggest distraction was this fucking delineation FBA ADOS stupid movement, because we were talking about buying black and whatnot. But and the bottom line is, all you people who are enemies, you think you're going to win, you're not winning, right? You saw what we did to the Destinations Barbecue and that Mr. 10-to-1 thing. We put them out of business, We brought friggin' Target to their knees, Black America is not to be played with, You may think this is all a joke, whatever like that. But like I said, you think we're all with this stupid FBA shit, The only thing FBA want to boycott is fucking African businesses, the dumbest fucking people on the damn planet. I got my issues with Africans and whatnot, but the bottom line is this: how the hell are you going to basically talk about the way Africans treat you, or you get followed around by every store that you go to in white America? Yeah, you got all the smoke for Africans and Caribbeans and all kinds of stuff. There was a thing the other week where this lady, she didn't like her order, whatever. I think she said the lady, it was a Jamaican restaurant. She didn't like her order, some shit like that. She was like, and she didn't like the attitude of the lady serving it, whatever like that. All black women, whether they're Caribbean or Black American, got the stankitude. They say, what's stankitude? Stank attitude. Anyway, she called ICE on them. She had ICE come up to the restaurant and check the lady out. I don't know if the lady got deported or whatever. But this black lady called ICE on a fucking Jamaican lady. This is ridiculous. This is crazy. So I'm saying to myself, man, this is where we're at right now. We're calling ICE on fucking other black people and shit like that because they dissed you or whatever like that. Dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life, But you got no smoke for the white man. I have not heard Tariq talk about the white man or race soldiers or all that in like 2 years now. It's been 2 years since Tariq even mentioned the white man, But they're so laser focused on this little group of Africans that come over here, these African bottom feeders that come over here because they're starving in their country, whatever like that, and they want a better life. But you like this, man. If you're threatened by Africans, man, there's something fucking seriously wrong with you, and you have not measured, you have not done enough in your life, if you are threatened by fucking African or Caribbean immigrants, it's like, like I said, Caribbean Africans can say what the fuck they want to say, like it wouldn't bother me one fucking bit because I'm like this. Thank God I'm me. Dark Migos and Africans are going out bad color. Well, I don't know what's going on up north, man. Maybe you can call in Dark Migo and explain to me what you're talking about. You know, put me on the game, man. What is going on? Nigeria did that 7 day great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was really fucked up. I didn't really get the whole gist of it, right? Not all the time. Internet going crazy. Yeah, yeah. I heard about that rape festival. I want to know if that's real. I heard something like that. They were raping in one state within Nigeria. It's a sad situation. Yeah, but like I said, all these people got their issues. Got their issues or not. Like I said, when people get online and start talking about black, I don't give it because I know for the most part, all these people they would trade places with us if they could in a fucking minute. So I don't get all triggered over fucking shit like that. Like, okay, I'll go back to my life. You go back to your life, and we'll be all right. A woman on the ground getting her clothes taken off, like 17 Africans. Were they taking the women's clothes off at random, or is it a party or something like that? What's the situation? Where it is going to random women and start raping them and whatnot. That's savage. That's savage. Really, that's a really savage situation. Now people have been asking me all the time, like St. James on, oh, Kala, what is Liberia gonna do about the Guinea soldiers? But I just got some word now that what's happening right now, and I said this, I predicted this, right? And they should call me Kala Thomas. I said that what they're gonna do in Guinea and all these other people in the government of Liberia gonna do is you're gonna trigger the rebel elements in Liberia. Was I right? Yes. Now you got former rebels coming saying they're ready to go back to the bush. They're lying dormant, but you got dudes here that fought in this civil war, the most destructive civil war in African history. These people get antsy, you know, and they're ready to go to war with Guinea over this border. And the government cannot stop it. Look, there's 17 or 18,000 former uh, 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 NFL, well, let's say National Liberian Police, no, Liberian National Force, LNF, something like that, National Force, whatever. There's like 7,000 of them that were soldiers, right, in the army, right? That's how big Liberia's army was, right? But the thing is, the government basically in 2005 formed a new army recognized by the international community, and all those old ones were kicked out. Now they want to come back to say they want to fight and they want to join. It's like seven. The government don't simply have the money to accommodate them. So that's going to be interesting. And these people start coming out of Monrovia talking about we want back in the military because we want to fight and whatnot. But that's going to cost Liberia money that it does not have. So this is going to be interesting. All I know is I don't want to be here when this shit pops off, and hopefully if it does pop off, man, I hope it doesn't. Well, I'll be the fuck out of here. All right, it was a Delta State, Southeast Nigeria. Yeah. If anyone get caught outside during drive, that's where they get violated without pay. Now, are they getting grabbed and groped, or are they actually getting penetrated and raped, or it's just a grab fest? Is it a groping festival? Or is it an actual rape festival? Both are bad, but it's important to put these things in the context. Warwick says Ghana cannot represent Black America. Yeah, but you got to understand something, right? Warrior King, you are not a government. Ghana could do whatever it wants to do. You don't have any power to stop them because you don't have a government. This reparation thing is going to be settled by independent governments. The government of Ghana with the government of the United States and all that. You warrior thing, like I said, watch last night's show. You are a cuckold. You are a Pan African cuckold. You know, a pan cuckold. You get none. You don't get none. You guys sit on the couch downstairs while everybody's upstairs doing the nasty. You know, well, I look. The United States government could just do that just to spite us. You know, whatever it is, God is in a good position to get something. You know, and they make that case and whatnot. It could be like, okay, we ain't get reparations, but the American government said, okay, here, here's $10 billion to do whatever you want with it. Leave us alone. And Ghana will be like, okay, you know, we'll call this the diaspora fund or something like that, right? Which they'll administer, and they'll give you a chance to come to Ghana and get a couple $1,000. They'll pay for health care, education, stuff like that. That's probably the best you're going to get, you know. But COFA, this thing is going to be handled from state to state. The bottom line is this: warrior clan. Fact that you have no nation, is going to cost you. You guys didn't want an Afristan, and Afristan would have been the one arguing for reparations for our people. You guys didn't want that. Now you got the government of Ghana, and if they get the money, they can do whatever they want with it. The government is not going to pay you because you're not a government. You're a U.S. citizen. So it's going to be interesting, It's going to be interesting. Lemon pound cake. Lemon pound cake. Y'all hear that song by Afro Man's hilarious, man. This whole shit. Afro Man's a man. That's a fucking genius, man. Like I said, man, our people are so fucking talented, man, Lemon pound cake. He's walking in the sun. Okay, that was some comeback with him, I had forgot all about Afro Man, Because I got high. Because I got high. I used to hate that song back. Yo, that song single-handedly made me quit smoking weed. Because I was like, that's how I look, I was going to go to work, but then I got high. I was going to do that thing. I said, yeah, man, weed is holding me back, man. I'm tired of getting high when because I got high, because I got high, because I got high, up, yeah. I was going to go to work, but then I got high. I was but then I got high. That was hilarious, man, But that song made me reflect and say, nah, I don't want to go down this road. I don't want to get high no more. That song made me put down the blunt. Because I got high. Because I got high. Yeah. Yeah, Afro Man's hilarious, man. He's fucking hysterical. Yep, folks. So it is what it is. It is what it is. We have Ghana who are taking the reins of the reparations movement, right? Because you don't have an Afristan, that's what's going to do. Next thing you know, you're going to have Liberia. They're going to step up and whatnot and start making its claims. You're going to have Cameroon going to say all these countries going to say, look, man, we lost manpower. But goddamn, And I heard before they had some Africans saying that Black America's wealth belongs to Africa. That $1.3 trillion belongs to Africa. That could pay Africa's debts and everything like that. So it's going to be interesting. I did a show about this a month or two ago, right? It's very interesting. Africans is laying claims to your black ass. They're saying y'all black asses belong to us. Whatever y'all make belongs to us. They're just picking apart they're taking what they want out of our community. Ghana's already taken the reparations movement. They've taken Michael B. Jordan from us or whatnot. What else are they gonna take? Whatnot? Black America is there for the taking, man. It's a grab bag. You know, so it is what it is. So don't expect to get anything out of the reparations movement directly. Y'all best get ready if y'all want some reparations money. Get your passport and your visa and go over to Ghana, because that's where the reparations money is going to be. They're going to start dealing it out, but not. It's only fair. I think the reparations money should go to an African country. Word Class says Ghana cannot represent Black America. Well, who's going to represent Black Americans, Warrior Clan? You can't represent yourself because you ain't a government. Man. You ain't no geopolitical. You didn't want a government. You wanted to be an American. When you say you want to be American, you forfeit that whole right to reparations and stuff like that, restitution. You got your restitution with the 14th Amendment, So it is what it is, folks. But that's just my opinion. What is your opinion? Do you think Ghana and all these African countries should be spearheading the reparation movement? They probably, people say, oh, this is a fucking Shaw dance show. Oh, in 2001, goddamn, that's 25 years ago, that we had this movement right here. We met the UN and whatnot. The last year, so 25 freaking years gone by, you're still having meetups and symposiums and all this stuff like that. And I'm saying, where is the damn money? Where is the goddamn money? Where's the goddamn money? Where's the goddamn check? That's not the point. What the fuck are we doing this for? Every time we press these reparations people, whatnot, they always say, "Oh, we got this bill, we got this discussion happening, whatnot." But where's the money at? What's the end game with all the reparations? It's just to freaking talk about grievances and whatnot. Is the end game getting paid? Is it getting paid? If not, then why are we all discussing it? Like it's going to be some big payday. I tell people all the time, man, I don't get it. I don't understand the American Negro, as far as I can throw them. Oh, the fact that we don't get money doesn't matter. Main thing is that we feel good about ourselves. We feel better. We have a sense of community. We have togetherness. We had conversations, Getting money? No, we don't care about that, But the main thing is that we got together and whatnot, And I've seen some of these reparations people giving themselves awards and whatnot. Yeah, we'd like to give you this award for your tireless work on reparations, but you didn't get no money. Doesn't matter. That person's getting awarded for that. So you got all these old and cobra dried up Negroes that are 100 years old talking about, man, you got to pay homage, man, because I was doing reparations back before you was born and whatnot. That's fine, but you never got any money. We're supposed to give people a fucking participation trophy. You didn't bring home the bacon. Now Ghana is in a position to bring home the bacon. Really. Can I get an amen on that? Ghana is in a position to bring home the bacon. Whether you get your slice or not, that's another story. That's a story for another day. But Ghana is going for the bag. Ghana is going for the big bag. Who is going to give Ghana this money? I have no idea. The same people that all these other people talk about they're fighting for reparations for. Where is this money supposed to come from? I have no idea. If you're a reparations person, I would like you call in and tell me Where the fuck is this money supposed to actually come from? Is it Donald Trump going to sign it in executive office? Is the Supreme Court going to give it to you? Congress going to give it to you? Whatnot? Is the Wall Street banks, the Federal Reserve going to give it to you? What the hell? Send Intelligent Neanderthal says, who are they begging and for what price and what cost? It does not matter. They make it a case, right, that black people suffered through the transatlantic slave trade, right? They're saying that they suffered for loss of intelligence and all this stuff like that. And so they're saying they want to be compensated for the loss of human labor over a few years. I can't say I disagree with them, because Africa lost a lot of manpower and brain power. And they're saying it's not fair that America has African Americans, the wealthiest, the only first world advanced black people on the planet. They believe that the intelligence and the stuff of Black America belongs to Africa. You know, you know that's their argument, right? And they want America to compensate them for the loss of black people in America. They lost out by having black people in America. So they feel like they are owed something from America for the loss of everything. In other words, why should America have all the fun? Black America puts $1.5 trillion back into the American economy. And Ghana and all these countries said, shit, if we can only get 10% of that, man, we could develop Africa. So it's a good push to basically incorporate Black America's income and integrate that into the African society. So, but people like Benjamin Rodriguez don't like it. The criminals can't complain. They're fucking so they're exposed. So this, I don't know about that. But the bottom line is this: you guys decided that you don't want an African. You want an African American nation state. You know, so the African will be the international voice of the Black America. But you didn't want that. You said we's Americans. Now that's comes to the price. Now America is going to be uh, when this kicks off between Ghana and America. America is going to be representing Black America, which means they ain't trying to give you shit. And Ghana is going to be representing Black America too. So it's like two countries battling over what's Black America's, the reparations. United States and Ghana, right? But I really think the United States to get out of this is going to give Ghana a payoff, to go away. The people over here, and that was going on, and now back to them. They are trying to get ahead of the Black Americans, in my humble opinion. Till I hear more, understand more. Their people are over here and heard what was going on, and now it's got back to them, and they're trying to get ahead of the. Look, the bottom line is, black people in America. Look, what are you arguing about? He's going to lay a wreath at some shrine in New York City for slavery. He's going to make the case about in front of the UN about the crimes. Don't we want the world to hear our case about slavery? For God's sake, Black America can't go to the UN, a nation. So you're gonna need somebody doing this. I think black people want to live and die being their own God in pursuit of happiness. Black people don't want a leader, are not looking for a leadership. That's true. That's true. But so what about the reparations thing? Do you think Black America really don't want it? That's a question there. How do we know black people in America really want reparations? We don't know that. I mean, everybody wants some money once in a while. Everybody wants money. Everybody wants to get paid. So, but how bad do black America really want this reparations thing, man? Maybe I think people are over exaggerating the importance of this thing to black America. Put the links in the chat room, folks. We're an hour into the show. We're talking about reparations tonight. Will you get it? Would you? Are they going to cut the check? Or will you get your fair share of the reparations money? Should Ghana be the main recipient? It's not going to be Ghana. It's going to be other countries that step up soon. If Ghana's successful in getting some money, we're not. There's going Cameroon's going to say, "Man, we lost a lot of Negroes too." We're not. You're going to have Nigeria getting in on it. You're going to have all these African countries getting in on this reparations money. If Ghana's successful, they might just pull it off, man. Because America will be like, something, Ghana, we're going to give you this reparation money, but you got to let us have like 4 or 5 rare earth material minerals sites. That's how it usually works. You give and give. I'm saying, you want that reparation or not? Yeah, okay. Well, we want access to your rare earth minerals. Okay, you give that up. Next thing you know, you got reparations. Question is, what do you in Black America have to trade for this? Nothing. You have nothing. The Ghanaian government have a bargaining chip. They have gold. They have all these other things. They got ports. They got an economy. They got a domestic economy they control. So the bottom line, what is blacks don't have anything? Blacks don't want a dictatorship or a dictatorship. How do you know that? We're living on a dictatorship right now. We're living on a white supremacy. So who cares? Yeah, I think you underestimate Black America. I mean, you obviously not Black, so you probably don't. You probably underestimate Black America. Black Americans aren't giving anything, aren't giving up anything, and have nothing to give up. So don't ask blacks for anything. Well, that could be said true, but you do got governments in Africa who are making the claims that Black America belongs to them, and that Black Americans are stolen Africans, that they should benefit from Black America like the way the white man does. Right now, the only people that benefit from Black America, labor and everything like that, is white Americans. So, like this, blacks are complaining about reparations being given. I don't know about blacks being complaining about reparations. So I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't think black people complain about reparations. Most black people going out there, bro, believe it or not, just living their life and everything like that. They believe reparations like I do is owed, but we ain't gonna sit. We're not sitting around fucking waiting on no damn reparations check. Black Americans are dead or dying. Just certain ideologies are not popular as they were. But it's Black America is going to go through a renaissance again. Mark my words. But yeah, folks. So, like I said, what is Black America's strategy? If Ghana does take America to court for reparations, international court, and everything like that, and pinpoint it's a crime against humanity, and get the Muslim world say yes, slavery is a crime against humanity, and then the United States respond by saying, "Well, we freed black people," blah blah blah, and then Ghanaians say, "Well, you didn't really compensate the black people of America." They'll say, "We did compensate them. We passed the 14th Amendment, guaranteed their citizenship." And go back to the court to the Ghanaian people. Well, we didn't benefit from the 14th Amendment. So there lies your case. So what you got to have is Ghana is going to make the case that they should sue on behalf of Black Americans for pain and suffering. Yeah, bro. Sally, whatever your name is, that's YouTube. YouTube. In real life, black people don't talk about this shit. Really, YouTube, black people talk about a lot of crazy shit, stuff they can't say in real life. Oh no, we got Ben. Oh boy, Ben.
Hey, what's up? Now, I was just going to say that. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Ben.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, I was just gonna say, far as
Oh
Ghana,
yeah,
that sounds so dumb with them because they know that they were the ones that participated in the slave trade. You know what I'm talking about? Nigeria, they're pretty much that coast of West Africa. The white people didn't go in there and get us the few that they got from over in Africa and brought here without their cooperation. You know what I'm getting at? So anything gotta need to be paying Black Americans FBA reparations.
yeah. But the thing is, though, Ghana's bringing this case on the world stage. Black people in America has never did a bold move like this.
Well, they gonna look like fools. It's like the Nazis trying to get reparations for the Holocaust. You know what I
Yeah, but
mean?
you'd be
So
surprised. Yo, look. They said the same thing to the Zionists about Israel. Guess what? They end up with a state, didn't they?
no, I'm talking about that's like the Germans, well, they were all Germans, but the ones that were Nazis, Germans, trying to get reparations for the Holocaust because they were
Oh, yeah, yeah.
disadvantaged.
But the thing is, though, and Ghana could say, okay, we were affected by the slave. It showed that they were affected by the slave because Ghana didn't exist at the time. It was a bunch of tribal kingdoms and whatnot that was this there that was involved with that. But the modern nation state of Ghana is like could say claim agency over the history of black people on the coast, right?
Okay, if
They
they were
can't.
affected by the slave trade, they would be over here, right? So how were they affected? They were left over there in Ghana or wherever
Yeah,
they
but
called the place.
the thing is, a lot of people don't notice, right? A lot of Africans on the continent, right? They were forced to sell people they knew, family members and whatnot, because that's how brutal the slave trade was.
No, they
People.
weren't forced. There was different tribes. They have receipts in Nigeria where they sold us for umbrellas, wine,
Right,
rum,
that
and
was, but
guns.
that's not every case. That's not every case. The main thing is, bro, what fueled the slave trade was the European importation of guns and the destabilization. Without a destabilized population, right? If you understand how West Africa was, you had literally big metropolis cities there, right? And you got large villages. People like you had millions of people living. Africa used to be densely populated, millions of people, black people, right? What happened was as people started migrating towards the coast and everything like that, people started invading other people's lands, and there was a conflict, right? And then what happens was when people have conflict, whatnot, and you got guns involved, guns change everything. You know why, Ben?
Go ahead.
Before guns happen, right? People go to war. Okay, you can go to sleep at night, right? What guns did was this: people with guns could panic and uproot a village of hundreds of people over in a minutes. People start hearing gunshots and everything like that. They start abandoning villages. Any other thing could not do that. Europeans did that to flush out things. And then what happened when people were running, slave catchers, white and black, will be waiting on the roads to capture people and march them to the slave dungeon. So basically,
Well,
I'm
now,
saying
what
this:
was the woman they made that
Africans
movie about?
were just as much victims of this thing too.
What was the woman's name they made that movie about? The
And
African
those
was
who were
in
left behind were just lucky.
what was the woman's name that they made that movie about? She
The
was a
what?
Ghanaian.
The
She
woman
was from the
king?
it was a female warrior or something like that that was in Ghana at that time.
Well, that was the woman king. That was written by a couple of white women. That was not really historically true. About the Dahomey Kingdom. That wasn't
Okay,
really historically true.
but at the same time though, they participate, whatever how you want to mix it up. They made us go around the tree of forgetfulness. You know what I'm getting at? They seen us chained in those dungeons and they did nothing. You know what I'm talking about? So Africa
Oh
sold
yeah,
their own brothers and
look, I'll
sisters
be the first to
into
tell you. I'll
hell.
be the first to tell you, right? Those slave dungeons and everything like that. I believe they should be burned down, right?
Yeah, and they charge
My
us for
problem
it.
with Ghana is they're making it a tourist attraction.
Yeah,
And when
that's
I saw
sick.
a video where they got Chinese investing in resorts and everything around the slave dungeons, it's
Yeah.
really
Oh,
sick,
yeah.
And they're making it a
Off of our
tourist thing.
trauma. And none of
And
these
so that's
African
what I don't
countries.
agree with. So the bottom line is this: we just have to see how this plays out, right? I like the fact that God's stepping up, but me personally, this is the way I feel, right? If someone's not talking about, if you're really serious about, if you really believe that black people in America suffered from, so that's what it should be about. What black people are not Ghanaians themselves. If you believe black people in America suffered and still suffer from slavery and everything like that, um, why haven't people talked about black people in America having access to wealth and stuff like that on the continent? How come we don't have gold oil blocks off the coast, to get us started? How come we don't have gold fields,
You
How
talking
come we
about
don't
in
have
Africa? Are you talking about in
Africa?
Africa or the US?
Africa is not ready to freaking share anything with Black America.
No, they never offered us citizenship to come back because one, they know if they did do that, we
Even
would do.
if you offer somebody citizenship, right? Let me tell you how it works in Africa. You go here. If you're not connected, right, it means absolutely nothing. I'm gonna tell you right now, and people don't like when I say this, right? A lot of Pan African, right? Unless you go to Africa and you're connected with the right people and stuff like that, you marry into the right family or you're adopted into a family or whatnot, you might as well stay in America. Because everything in Africa is about patronage and who your connection with, what your background is. So having citizenship in a country means absolutely nothing if you have no political or social power.
Yeah, but if they were to give
So
us
citizenship
citizenship,
now.
well, okay, but check this out. If a number of us went over there and they gave us citizenship where we had voting rights and property rights, yeah, I give it 50 years, that part of Africa would be Dubai 2.0. Because they know once
It
they
probably
give
would.
us the ball
The
and
thing
they
is,
give us
though,
the way,
the
we're
thing
going to
is,
succeed. It's going to
they're
be
they're
Wall
not
Street 2.0
they're not going to
over
do
there.
that. They're not going to do that.
That's I said if they get out the way, and they're not going to do that because they know that we will outshadow them. We will overdo them. They're jealous. That's why they don't want us over there.
Well,
We
yeah,
will outdo
that's a
them in
part of
their
it.
own country.
That's very true too, because the bottom line is, I be talking about getting a piece of territory in Southern Africa, and here's Kidola way in Nigeria talking about, oh, there's no land. What the hell you got to do with it? You got people out there in Africa who don't see us with shit. Don't want to see us with shit. But yet they always talk about this kumbaya stuff. They basically, when Dangote built that refinery, how come he didn't contact Black American oil execs? They don't know we exist. Black American engineering firms. Like I said, anything major project you do in Africa, you never see any black person in America involved. You
No,
never
only
see a
time we get
black
over there,
person
they
in
try to scam
America
us.
in a whole public office in Africa when I just don't happen. So it is what it is. So that's stuff that people I like to talk about. It's like, why is that all these black people be going to Ghana all these years? How come we don't have nobody in Black America in the Ghanaian parliament? You know?
No, they just try to scam us, if anything. So, no, they know the truth. If they gave us the ball and got out the way, what it would be, because they're literally walking on diamonds, gold, cobalt, damn near everything known to man, just to keep these damn cell phones running. They got a monopoly on it, and they can't get no money out of it. How the hell is that?
Well, because like I said, a lot of times in Africa, it's like they know they got minerals, but they don't know what they're about and everything. So the white man comes and tells them, look, okay, we're going to develop this stuff. We're going to take it out of the country, process it someplace else. But then basically, they'll always, this is what I said about these tribal chiefs, right? They'll say, well, okay, now lithium is in such and such territory of the such and such people, right? So what they do is they go connect with the tribal chief there and say, "Hey, Chiefy Weefy, right? We're going to bring this development to your community. We're going to build this. We're going to build that. We're not. And to sweeten the deal, Chiefy Weefy, here's a little money for you, $100,000. More money you say, okay." And then when they start mining the stuff and everything, and people are like, damn, there's mining companies here. They're polluting the water. They're not building that hospital they said they were going to build, and people are getting sick. They're not building the roads like they said they're going to build, whatnot. And they'll come and say, "Well, you guys signed off on it. You guys had a ceremony, and also everything seals a deal when the tribal chief comes and basically does his dance, whatever like that, and gives his honor and blessings to it. That's it. No one says a thing out like that. And that's why I say,
They even got
these
the Lebanese over there getting money. Yeah, I know you probably seen
Lebanese,
them over there.
Lebanese are running Liberia right now. My
I mean,
bro,
they in
they're running.
Nigeria also.
They really running this place. But I to be honest with you, I'm not mad at it because there must be 20 major on Tubman Boulevard alone. There must be 20 major supermarkets and whatnot. These are modern supermarkets like you see in America. Major supermarkets, like 20 of them on Tubman Boulevard, all Lebanese. The black people got stores and whatnot, but they're like raggedy. Like okay, you got a store around the corner. There. They got some stuff. You can buy some water and soda. Some basic stuff like that. But if you want to go to a store like I do, right, and you want to go in there, and then you got the African market, right?
Yeah,
But
they
if you want to
basically
go to
sell
the store,
trinkets there.
yeah, yeah, the African market has all the pottery and the craftsman work. They have a lot of fruits and stuff like that, cassava leaf, whatever. Like like but if you want to go and you really need to go shopping, right? You need to get your cereal, your bread, everything like that. You go to a Lebanese store. You want to get your canned goods, whatever. You go to the Lebanese store because it's gonna be well stocked and everything. That's what everybody do. And also, it's air conditioning. You go in there. So when you open the door, man, it's so hot here, right? You go to open the door, that cold AC, you're like, oh shit, you feel like you're back in the States. So that's why people shop at the Lebanese stores, whatnot, because they're all modernized. Then you can pull out your credit card and pay for it. You don't have to go to a fucking ATM and get cash and whatnot, all the time. Deal with the African market and whatnot, it's like it's just a really thing. Yeah, Lebanese basically dominating everything here in this country. That's what I'm seeing,
Yeah, you also
the
got
major,
East
the modern
Indians
stuff. They're dominating
in
the
South
modern
Africa.
stuff.
And you got the East Indians in South Africa, so yeah, it's a mess,
Yeah,
man.
but
So
bottom line is this: black people in America, like I was telling Elvis last night. He said, "Why can't y'all do it?" Because these people are backed up by governments, right? And like I said, we're gonna suffer more and more not having a government that we control, right? Ghana's gonna be able to speak on our behalf, and it's just Ghana. It's gonna be other African countries. Then you'll be like, "Yo, man, that's so." Let's say the Birmingham bombing. Remember 1963? There's going to be an African country that's going to sue the state of Alabama on behalf of those girls who are deceased and come out with a payday. What do you think about that?
yeah, I just think it's disrespectful for Ghana to even bring up anything about reparations. I think it's just totally disrespectful.
Yeah, but the bottom line is disrespectful to who?
To anybody that was involved in that transatlantic slave trade, that goes from South America all the way
Yeah,
up
but
to the
let
Caribbean.
me, let me ask you a question, Ben, right? In all due respect. When has the world ever respected slave descendants?
I mean, I'm just saying what it is, regardless of what they want. I just consider it
Well, I
disrespectful.
know. You know that, and I know that it's highly disrespectful. But it was disrespectful for white people to put us on the back of the bus, but they did it. To sell us on the auction block. That was disrespectful. They did it. So if you got a pattern here, what happened to George Floyd was disrespectful. What happened to Rodney King? Disrespectful, right? They do all kinds of shit right there. You know what? I really dawned on me when remember when at that award in UK when Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo had to sit there when a guy with Tourette's said nigger like that, and
Yeah,
they
you
could
can't.
not say anything. They had to endure the disrespect right there, and they had to put a smile on.
Yeah, because
That's
them
pretty
Negroes
much
over
what they
there
are.
is refugees. They so happy that white daddy let them back on the plantation over there. So that's a sad case. That they
And
got the
so,
independence and they got to crawl back to the plantation to the Western countries to make it, and they're literally walking on gold and diamonds and oil. You know.
and the thing is, they got that as a bargaining chip. Westall never forgets that. They have something to bargain with. They got gold, they got all diamonds, or like we the problem in Black America is we really don't. Now, if we had our money organized, right? If Black America had their money organized, and like I said, if we had this thing where 10 to 20% of our income we spend on Black businesses, what consistently, and they can show that, now you got power. That's a lot of money. That's power. But Black America is not going to do that because people sitting there running around all day saying FBA all day, FBA all day, not buy black, not do that, but they're online talking about FBA all day, FBA all day, cut the check, FBA all day. So we went from black power, buy black like that to FBA all day, FBA all day. What's up, Bantu Mendika?
Hey, FBO all day. I know you taking shots at me.
Hey, you're
What's
sharp,
up?
man. You're
What's
sharp.
up, bro?
You think, you
Hey,
think.
man, listen. I heard y'all talking about it early on Dynasty. I wasn't really listening, but it's just gonna be like how you said when Angola was trying to claim us. It's just not gonna happen. Wishful thinking.
Yo,
That's
dude,
all.
man. Angola is claiming your black ass.
Now
You know,
Ghana. Who else gonna try to claim us? Who
every
else gonna try to lay claim?
Ghana. Oh, Ghana already stole Michael B. Jordan, man.
Yeah, who else gonna try to lay claim to?
Everybody laying claim to your black ass. You ain't
It
got no
ain't
sense.
happening, man. They just, it's really disgusting, like how Ben was saying that. How the fuck you gonna be a main facilitator of the slave trade? Now you talking about you need reparations, man. Shut up. It ain't
Yeah.
happening.
So the bottom line is, they could do that because they have a government, and this is going to be decided by governments, man.
Hey,
What we
listen.
think does not matter. What we think
Hey,
does not matter.
if you got somebody like me on the scene, it's gonna matter.
Yo, but back to Mandinka, you do not have a government. Who's your ambassador?
I
Who's
don't
your
need
man
it.
of big
Straight
affairs?
up.
Who's your military guy? You have no state. You have no flag. You have no nothing. You
We're
don't
gonna see
exist.
whoever say. We're gonna see. We'll see.
You ain't you gonna be part of that counter protest?
We'll see what happens. I tell you, it's
Oh
not
yeah, are
going.
you gonna fly to New York and be part of the counter protest,
I'm
bro?
telling you
Come on.
right now, it's not gonna happen. It don't have to be no protest.
Yeah, it's gonna happen, man. He's gonna go down there and take the reins. He's gonna speak before the UN,
Hey,
and the next thing you know,
non.
Donald Trump's gonna say, "You
Who?
know something,
Wait, who's
man?
the president
Already,
of?
I'm seeing signs right here.
Who's the
Hold up,
president of
hold up, hold
Ghana?
up, hold up.
All right,
Muhammad,
go
this
ahead.
guy named Muhammad.
Oh, okay.
Here, check us out. Now, already see signs that are troubling. That Alfredo Garcia, guess where they're shipping him to?
Where?
That MS-13 gang member, that was convicted, whatever
Oh,
like
they
that.
send them
Yeah,
to Ghana.
sent him to Liberia, right?
Oh, they send
What
them to
they're doing is
Liberia.
a test run, right? By which, if these governments agree to take
Yeah, remember I
Negroes,
was telling you about that, and you was like, "Ah, I don't care about that. Fuck that shit." I was telling you about
no, but
that last time.
look, they're already doing a test run. I know this for a fact.
Yeah, the,
It,
the
the
African
history
countries
said
they
Ghana,
accepted the
Liberia is a place
money.
we can send it to. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're starting with Alfredo Garcia, but there's going to be, before Trump is over, you're going to see a lot of black men being shipped back to Africa.
Are they sending them back to prison over there? Or are they letting them be citizens?
That's what I'm saying. If you,
I think
why
they
I'm in
said,
Liberia right now. Why would you
yeah, that's
bring
crazy.
this guy here and let him run free? It got to be a prison over there.
How many
Yeah,
prisons
It
do
can't
they
be
even
just like
have over
hung
there?
dumb.
yeah. If they let
Where
them
you
go free, and
Well,
that's
Liberia got a prison. We got South Beach prison. By the way, Prophet Key got released from prison today, man. That's a good win. Our great Prophet Key of Liberia got released today. He got jailed for cussing out the Supreme Court Chief Justice. He cussed his mother one night. He said a Supreme Court justice had him locked up. It was illegal. But they said all the women in Liberia said, yeah, he like cussing women out on his radio show or whatnot. So they said he got what he deserved. But he was there for like a month, but
okay?
they released
And
him
do they
today,
not do they not
Prophet
have
Key.
freedom of speech on the books and their constitution?
Yeah, they got freedom of speech, but this is still Africa, bro.
Nah,
hey
yeah,
that
yeah, I
hey
already
that
know.
hey that grape fest is real, Carla. I
And
seen
that
some
freedom of speech only
videos.
go but so far, bro.
Nah,
Yeah.
facts. Is it still like examples, like instances of jungle justice in Liberia?
Nah, Liberia is great. Look, let me tell you something. In all the years I've been coming here, this is like the most peaceful place on the freaking planet. It's the safest people place. The young people, you see young people that look like in America look like thugs. Like my stepson, his friends come here today. They're like 17, 18. They're real respectful. Young people are real respectful. Sir, yes, sir, no, sir, whatnot. You never see people fighting. I've never seen a fist fight here. Even when people argue, like when the gas station the other day, the gas pumps were crowded, tempers were flaring. I sat there all relaxed because I knew there ain't no guns coming out. Now, if that was America, I would have been like, "Oh, time you go inside." Bullets coming flying in a minute. Motherfuckers in each other's face cussing each other out. But it was like I'll sit back just relaxing. Ain't nothing gonna happen. And nothing did happen. America, I would not have been like that. I've been running for cover, ducking like shit, man. And I'm always right, man. Guns start coming out. I'm in a fucking store, somebody gets shot in the parking lot, body, police car comes, whatnot. You don't have that here. It's really freaking peaceful here. Liberians are very peaceful. The
All
women
right,
are beautiful.
don't say
It's
nothing when the
super beautiful.
machetes start coming out, Color. Don't think they
Well,
are
machete
nice
starts
and
up for what?
peaceful.
For what? Oh no! So everybody will be like, "Okay, man, let's just."
And then they had their civil war down that color not too long ago. They was chopping each other
that
up.
was 20 years
Yeah,
ago.
Color be trying to paint this bullshit.
Well, I'm not trying to pay you. Look, people believe what they want, but look, I'm here for 2 months, right?
Yeah, you there, and I heard you say
year.
you hope you hurry up and get out of there before them fucking rebels start doing
No, what I'm
shit.
saying is this. What I'm saying is this. What's going
Nah, he
on
said
right
he don't want to
now?
leave.
Hold on. What I'm
Nah,
saying
he
right
would.
now is on the
He don't
border.
want to leave.
Hold on. Listen to what I'm saying. So you get it right before you talk.
Go ahead.
There's a border dispute going on between Guinea, this clown Guinea president, is having broader provocation, right? They're taking the fact of the matter is that when the Liberian government formed, they had a limited army, right? These are people that wasn't involved with the war when I was 2,000 members, personnel, right? They were trained by the United States in Nigeria, right? The former Federal Army of Liberia, right? They're like 18,000 strong. They're seeing the provocation of the border, and they're asking to be re-enlisted. These motherfuckers are no joke. So what happens is this: they're saying if they don't, they're going to form anyway and protect the border. So you might have a situation where these rebels, and then you got rebels, right, coming in, getting on social media saying, we're ready for war with Guinea, whatever like that. You got General Butt Naked talking about we're ready for war and whatnot. So these people,
man, they got butt
so
naked woke back up again.
You got people out here talking about. I listen to Butt Naked. He sounds like he's a real intelligent dude.
Man, hell no.
Hold on. You got people out here talking about, oh God, Liberia's vulnerable but those only the people that the government that's on government salary right now because the budget was so low for military, right? But there's still freaking soldiers out there, well-trained soldiers, like 20,000 of them in the bush. If they come out of the bush and once I start going into formation, one is you gotta if it's all said and done, you gotta pay them. Where's the guy going to get the money from to pay people? I have no idea. Other than that, now you got a problem. Now these people are gonna be roaming around the countryside and you can't stop them. That's a dilemma Liberia faces. Only because it didn't get out ahead of this thing with Guinea. Even if they would have had with the war with Guinea and the thing, that could have stopped this. But if it looks like these people are taking land and encroaching on Liberia's land, it's going to trigger a war. I'm saying right now, I don't want to be here for that shit.
So what? They at the border already, or what?
What?
Guinea is at the border already?
Oh, Guinea's troops crossed into Liberia 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
and planted their flag on Liberian soil.
Oh, it's
and
on.
Liberians repelled them and made them retreat.
Damn. Yeah,
but the thing is now
naked,
you got
they
the
got butt
former,
naked
you got the
involved.
former military. Hold up, you got the former military. Former military. There's like 20,000 of them, right? These are soldiers and everything like that. They're lying and dormant, and they're ready to come back, even though they're not being paid. They said they were unconstitutionally disbanded. They were disbanded because they were involved in rebel activity, but they're ready to come back to fight this war.
This shit is serious.
So it's going to be real heated over here in a minute. These guys right here,
that energy for the Chinese.
It is no match for these guys.
What you say? The Chinese what?
I said, too bad they don't have that energy for the Chinese and everybody else from the
Oh yeah.
Well, the thing is though, the problem was Guinea did a provocation. They went inside Liberia. It's not even contested land, right? It's just like the soldiers accused Liberians, probably Chinese, of illegal sand mining. When you illegal sand mining, you disrupt the flow of the river and stuff like that, the balance of the river. Chinese do a lot of sand mining in Liberia, you know. So anyway, I don't know. I don't know if they're covering the fact that it could be Chinese up there doing that, because that river of the Lofa is rich in diamonds, gold, everything, right? On the Liberian side, the Guinea side don't have shit, you know. And so therefore, the Guinea soldiers went over there and tried to take it, like they did Sierra Leone a year or two ago. They went and just invaded Sierra Leone. Was like, whatever, we're not going to fight for it. But Liberians are not like that. They're going to fight, you know. And what's happening is this, you know, since the armed forces of Liberia seem like they're inept, whatever, you know, like 2,000, all these former rebels that have been in the bush, they're still there. These rebels that were lying dormant for all these years, I see some of them, I know some of them. You know, I know some of these people. My guy Flo was a lieutenant in the army with Charles Taylor. This guy Flo is no fucking joke. Flo lived in South Africa. He lived all over. He's a black nationalist, a Pan-Africanist and whatnot. He's like a Garveyite. You know, that boy Flo is no fucking joke. You know, you got major people in Liberia that fucking that are ready for fucking war. You know, so it is what it is.
Yeah, but I mean, who's gonna pay Ghana? I mean, what is this thing, man? This is a joke. Who's gonna
We
pay
talking about
Ghana?
Ghana. Look. I would like to know. I would like to know from
Who?
you. Like I would like to know from you and Ben Yusuf, who's gonna pay y'all?
Who the fuck owe us? That's who gonna pay us.
Well, yo, you gotta be specific. Who's gonna pay y'all?
United States government.
I'm not
Okay, give me
answering.
that.
Hey,
What,
Big
what,
Yosef, you ain't gotta answer that
United
shit.
States government? Give me specific.
He already know who gonna pay us. Yeah.
No, I need to know who that is. So because could it be that Muhammad knows to do the same method?
And then my other question is, okay, Ghana gets reparation. Who are they gonna pay? Who
Nobody. They gonna
Yo,
keep
look,
it.
the money. Hold up, the money would go
They're gonna pay
to
us,
Ghana,
right? Who they
right,
gonna pay?
for rebuilding Ghana.
No, they
They
gonna
could
keep
use the
it.
money for
And
roads,
then they gonna tell you to come
bridges,
home, Black
schools.
American,
How the
and
fuck?
see what you built.
Yo,
It's all
Manti Maniga, you don't care about education?
Man, listen, I care about it, yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm
so
trying to
if Ghana use the money to build schools and hospitals
for
and stuff
who?
like that for the people, you
For
know,
who,
isn't that
man?
good?
For who? For
Nah.
Ghanaians?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can go over there and get and use it.
I don't need to go to fucking school. Shit, the fuck?
You can send your kids to
That's
school
for
over there. Come on.
kids, man. Nah,
It's a perfect
Kyler.
way to screw
Black,
I
Black
black
don't
Americans
children
out
are
know.
of
the future,
reparations.
man.
Is there like some kind of proposal or something? Like, what did he say? What happened?
They haven't put an amount on it yet.
Well, it's bullshit. I can
Well,
tell you
people
that.
are jumping to conclusions, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
People are jumping to conclusions. What's happening is all he's doing is declaring slavery was a crime against humanity. Now, there's other forces out there who say that the wealth
But
of Black America, the Caribbean, and stuff like
they,
that,
well, if they
Africa should
declare,
benefit.
if Ghana declares that, they just implicated themselves in the slave trade because they
It's
already
basically
have publicly apologized for it. So
Yeah,
it's just
but hold up. But
stupid, man.
as the thing, Benjamin Dinka, the country of Ghana did not exist. The government of Ghana and the country, the flag of Ghana,
All right,
the
if it
geopolitical
did
entity.
exist, what the fuck are they talking about?
No, what
they
they're
saying they
doing, hold
keeping
on, what
it.
they're doing is saying they're doing it in
You just
totality.
killed your
They're
whole
saying
argument.
slavery. They're saying slavery led to colonialism and
Yeah.
all the problems you see in the black
You
race right
just
now.
said it. Ghana didn't
Slavery led
even
to
exist. So you have no case.
yeah, but
Next.
hold up, but
Who else gonna claim us? Next.
What they're saying is the West, all these Western countries, for 300 something years. Look, let me tell you something, man. See if we agree on this, right? When the Europeans first came to West Africa, the Portuguese who first came to West Africa, right, looking for ivory, gold, and slaves, right, on a small scale, right? And then the Portuguese had the idea of slavery based on race. You know, that's when it started that, right? When the Dutch and the Portuguese and all the other people came to West Africa, Benin City was a metropolis. It had apartments, it had broad streets, everything. There was a big city, you know. It was like Amsterdam. It was bigger than Amsterdam at the time. Amsterdam was a friggin' shithole. 300 years later, Benin was in ruins. Amsterdam is a major world capital of trade and industry and stuff like that. The Dutch rule the world, you know? Now, tell me again how Africa benefited a long time. No, Africa was destroyed. Africa was
fuck if they benefited or not. They benefited when they sold the slaves for 2 cookies. That's what they wanted.
How did they benefit?
They got what the fuck they wanted.
They had lost manpower, Bantu Mandinka.
So what?
They sold us for an umbrella, Kala. They got the receipts for it still.
They got evidence that they were selling niggas for
you guys really
cookies.
Believe that? Hello, you guys really believe that nonsense?
What you mean you really believe it?
Kala, that was real.
It's in the record book.
That was real.
It's in
they
the
sold
record
us
book.
for barrels of wine, mirrors.
I can't. No, I never read nothing like that. Hey, Kidola, what do you think?
That's because you don't read. You just make up.
I do read. I read more than you. I'm an author, bro.
Hey, Kala, they got a statue in Nigeria of the woman.
Can't be a bunch of memes on TikTok.
Man,
you
just because you got an author,
you got a library card.
Yeah, I got a library card. So
you ain't been no library, nigga. Stop.
Hey, listen, Kala. I've been to the library. What are you talking about?
You ain't been to no library, man.
Hey, Kala, you seen that statue, right, in Nigeria of the woman who was the biggest slave trader in Nigeria? They got a statue.
Yeah, I know the Tanubus. I know about that. You know,
Queen and Zinga and all of them.
Yeah, they sold us for trinkets. They sold their brothers to hell and sisters for trinkets.
No, he just trying to play like he.
Well, let me hear Christopher Bay. Kala, your intro when you were talking is so informative. Thank you. You know, I wish Baruti would see that. Can you increase that time? Some brothers just talk, have no real education, takes away from the show. Well, no, I mean, I like doing the first hour and I let everybody else talk. You know,
hey, come on the show. Come on the show. Who was that?
That guy, my guy Chris. It was a BAO guy. He's my BAO. He's in Tanzania right now. You know,
that's a partner.
But the bottom
the main thing about the Ghana thing, we have no governmental body to accept those reparation claims. So even if they take it,
Ghana ain't got no fucking claim. How the fuck?
No, this is what I'm saying. Even if they get their money for reparations, African Americans have no governmental body.
Right.
Kala, you see, sometimes when I listen to some of
this is going to be decided.
Kala, when I listen
but if the Ghanaian government, you know how it usually happens, brother. If you look at a familiar pattern, I know the white man's already studying this right now, right? Hold up, let me say this: the white man's already studying this right now, and it's similar to happened with Germany. Germany was forced to pay reparations to the Jewish people, and the state of Israel, the entity, got that money. The Jews didn't get money; it was the state of Israel. So Ghana is taking the place like the state of Israel for Black people in America to receive that money. This is what happens when I say we need an African and everybody wants to fight me on it. No, we don't need no damn African. Hey, then Ghana's gonna come in and take the reparations money because you don't have a government. What up,
Kala, let me say you this. You see, when all this business of reparation came about, when I don't know, Ben is not even a black man, he's just lying there. Now you want to be African? Well, you're not even African. Mandeka, you never claim African, so you're Indian. Now you want to be African?
No, I'm not African. You're right about that. I'm not an African.
But you talking about Condola. Shut your Dutch colonized head ass up, man.
So, Kala,
I'm not going to listen to your bullshit tonight, man.
Kind of like you see what Ghana would do right now. Ghana is playing what they call a very intelligent game, right? It's a reparation for Africans they took to whatever, to all over the world, right? It's not saying, oh, if you're Indian or not, when the shove come to shove, which I don't like what Ghana is doing, right? But you see this so-called fake FBA dude making no.
God ain't finna do shit. What the
You
fuck
have
you
to be
talking
smart.
about?
You are not smart. You are dumbass.
That is
Ghana
dumb
will
as y'all. That's for sure.
just we gonna pocket you on year of return.
Ghana
Ghana will
think
flip
they
the
finna
game
get
again on you for head.
reparations. Are you
You understand
stupid?
me? You know, Ghana will flip the head. You think it's about fuck Ghana, fuck that, fuck. They
Yeah,
don't operate like
fuck
that.
Ghana. Fuck
You
you.
said me, people don't operate like that, motherfucker. You have to be smart. You have to be calm. There's no emotions in this game. Ghana ain't playing. You know, Ghana ain't playing, man. Ghana is
So
not
you
going to
really
emotion.
think
Oh, fuck
they
this, fuck
getting
that. You know,
something? You really
you got no
think
shit.
Ghana
But
finna get something?
you got no shit. You're the one say fuck that, fuck this. You can't even fight a rap.
You
You
got
know,
a
you're the
good
one say
one
fuck that,
coming.
fuck this. That's why you enter jail with emotions, man. Ghana ain't playing with
Ain't
emotions.
no emotions. They not getting
You know.
anything. They just talking, making noise.
Oh, man, you lying,
Chatter
man.
babble.
You
Chatter
lying.
babble.
Ghana have gold. You know, Ghana have gold. They can say pay us separation before you
Did
start buying goods from us. You understand me?
didn't Angola try
You,
to say they was going to get reparations too? What happened to that?
And
before
white
you
man
know,
ain't giving nobody reparations, man. But if
you
they
think
You
do,
think because
this is
Ghana
the
got
perfect setup to take
some
our money
soft
that would
ass
be coming to
gold
us and use it
that
for their
somebody
stuff.
finna pay them
you
reparations?
think hold on.
Are you
You think
crazy?
Ghana will be asking for
United
cash?
States has
Ghana
made
is
a
not asking
deal
for
with
cash.
Venezuela for gold.
Let
Nobody
me tell
need
you the
Ghana,
truth.
man.
Ghana is not asking for cash. Ghana will get this money to different form. But you people
Man,
looking for
they're not
pay
getting
check,
shit,
call
bro.
the check, call the check, call the
Kid
check.
Ola,
You people
what is Ghana asking for then?
Yeah, what are they
people
even
become
asking for?
you
Kid
people become
Ola,
worse than
what is Ghana
you people
asking
become
for?
worse than KKK. Let me tell you the game Ghana is playing right now.
That's
Right?
right.
This operation is not about
Playing a
cash.
game. That
This
shit.
game Ghana is playing, right? It's a game. It's a chess game. Ghana is looking for favorable trade trade something, right?
What's
At
wrong
the
with
end,
you motherfuckers
this will
always
come towards
playing
the trade.
games?
Will
No,
come up
yeah,
towards trade business.
I agree with Kedola. Ghana's playing chess with this thing.
Yeah, they trying to set up a place so they can get money based off
He's playing the
reparations. Everybody been saying that.
It's not check. It's a total different business
Yeah,
Ghana is
what I'm
playing
saying
now.
is it's big. It goes beyond reparations. You know, Ghana wants to position itself as this. Okay, if America and the West says yes, man, this is a crime against humanity.
Ghana
Yes,
is
This is
they want to be
stupid
the
as
then
governmental
Ghana will
fuck,
start
apparatus
man.
that collects the funds.
How is
Yeah.
you the main facilitator of slavery
Yeah,
and
that's
you
what I'm
trying to
saying. Everybody
position
understands that. We
yourself to
disagree
get
with that.
repaid? Are you stupid?
Yeah, but the thing is, though, Benjamin Dinka, they were not a government at the time. Ghana did not exist.
That
Okay,
don't
so that's
matter.
the
The people
excuse you're
that were
gonna keep
trafficked
using.
from the
So
land are
now you
not
just
in
kill your
that
whole
area
argument every
anymore.
time. Ghana didn't fucking exist. So what are we talking about?
It did not
Yeah,
exist, man. You know.
What are you talking about?
But the
None of
thing is,
these fucking
hold up. Do
places
you understand? Hold up.
existed.
Do you understand? It was a state of Israel that was the recipient of reparations from Germany, not Jewish people. They didn't send Jewish people cut the check.
yeah, Kyla,
They
but
sent,
Ghana ain't our state of Israel. We don't
Well,
have a nation.
well,
Ghana ain't our nation.
don't the
Look, Ghana is interceding for you because you don't have a nation of your own in Africa. You know what I'm saying?
That's what every person on Dinah's show and on this show is saying.
I'm gonna
This
tell
why we
you just
disagree with
like
it.
I told you
We don't
about
need Ghana
Angola.
stepping
They
up for
not
us.
man enough. They not
Yeah, but
woman
hold on.
enough. Forget
Hold on.
about it.
It's Ghana or nothing. Yeah, right now, we do not have an African state.
Or
Right? So it's
nothing.
Ghana or nothing.
It's nothing there because we ain't got Ghana either.
Yeah, we ain't got no
Oh, no,
fucking Ghana.
you gotta go with
They was
Ghana,
trying to
man.
get paid,
You
man.
can't just do nothing,
Poor ass
man.
motherfucking niggas trying to get paid, man. Get the fuck out of here.
We don't own any land in Ghana. We not in the Ghana military.
Oh yeah,
We
we
don't
do. We
have
got
any.
hold up. We got the Asabo land. Brother Bomani got land over there. A lot of people got land. There's like
How
20
much
different
land?
Black Americans.
How much land they got in Ghana?
Asabo, there was given like 5,000 acres.
And half of that is a scam.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
they're
shit
on it
was
though. Got people building
scam,
houses
bro.
though.
These guys, right? If I sit with this fella, I'm discussing it, right?
You muffled,
These
kiddo.
guys,
Can't hear you.
these guys are talking
Yola,
about
man, you
fuck
gotta
you.
talk up. You muffled, bro.
These guys are like this. They're talking about, oh, fuck that, fuck this. If I sit with these guys and start discussing this with these guys, I would just listen to them, start laughing in my mind, right? I might even throw you a piece of paper and ask you to read it and tell me what you think about it, right?
Nobody's
So
gonna
you be
do no
saying, when
business
you be
with
saying
you.
it's about fuck me, fuck you. I don't want to fuck that, fuck that. No, I will not take you serious. But I will sit with people and let's discuss about it. If you think it's called the check that you put go and buy Ghana want to buy a car with it, you put just joking. Ghana have already positioned itself before the moment you open this one say year of return, Ghana was already stepping somewhere slowly.
And you kind of
You
just
understand me? Slowly.
checkmated themselves.
Now,
You hear me?
now, now when Ghana came in now, Ghana now is now in the UN trying to bring about this shit. Ghana is already a step ahead right now. See what will happen, Carla? We will have talking to you, Carla, is because you know more better. You don't deal with emotions. Then the Britain, especially the United States, have interest in Ghana. They will say, okay, you will trade friends. Okay, our pressure have to come on the trade business, favorable to us. You push here, I push here. Uh, a lot of things will take place. These are guys. These are guys that say, oh fuck you fucking dirty Africans. You think Africans are not smart? you probably dreaming for a long time. Oh, dirty Africa, because that'll make you feel good. Africa will eat your pie. They will eat your pie on your plate without you not knowing. You feel me? Oh, yeah, they say fuck Africa, fuck this, fuck that, fuck this, call the check. All your Tony Ton, all your this racist event canal, all you that run around the street say fuck Africa, I'm not from Africa. Now you want to be African? No, man. Come on, go and eat some bread and peanut butter somewhere, man.
That's, that's how
You're
you
not
wanted
invited
a
in this
piece of
table.
pie. Go ahead.
Yeah, half of your dinner will be eaten by Ghanaian very soon now. You understand me?
Kiddo, bro, you
All your
talking
dinner.
nonsense, bro.
They,
You an African with a white wife that live in UK, bro.
yeah,
Nobody
he,
You
taking
know,
you
you,
serious,
ain't
man.
you
nobody
hear
taking
me?
you
You hear me?
serious,
You
Hey, let's
talk
be
bro.
about
real, bro.
you talk you
Ghana
that's your
don't speak for
take
us, and they
take
don't
your
have the
piece of
power to speak
pie,
for
your
us.
little half a meal.
you got
Go
nothing to
ahead.
show.
First of
You
all,
can
the
you can talk.
European 9 times out of 10 is not giving anybody reparations, but this
Who
is a
tell you that?
perfect play for them to
Hey,
Who tell
set
you
King
up
that?
David. I mean,
screwing
good
the
Who
black
tell
King.
you that?
American
Ghana
out
just
of
checkmated
reparations.
themselves,
If
Who
they
tell you
bro.
that?
give our
Look,
money
They
to
so
Ghana,
fucking
that's a
stupid.
perfect
They
play
don't
for them.
even know. Man,
Carla, do you know Israel gets reparation from Germany? You think it's just cash? It's not cash. It's business.
Yes,
It's defense.
Israel was a nation
Hold
state.
on.
We don't have a nation,
Hold on.
genius.
Hold on.
how the hell you
Yeah,
gonna
because Ghana is a nation state.
try to lay
Israel gets
claim
Israel gets
to some niggas you
favorable
sold over
business deal,
500 years ago?
right?
What you been
Israel gets
smoking,
what you
man?
call defense. Israel gets all kind of
Kid,
potential and
Ola,
money
Israel
from
is a
the German.
nation. There is no African
You
American
know,
nation, bro.
and
You think
so
you
if you
think
could
these
have a nation,
FBAs that got these
but
loud mics is gonna sit back and
but
let y'all
if you
talk
could
this
have a nation,
nonsense? Are you crazy?
Your KKK FBA guys
Man, so
that on the
FBA is
street in
powerless.
Yanni,
Hey,
you
what'd
know
you say,
your
Colin?
I said, hold up, kiddo. FBA is absolutely powerless, bro.
You gonna see what happened the next few days with this
Oh,
Ghana
okay, okay.
nonsense.
All right, man. I'll be right here. Yeah, I'll be
I
right
know
here,
you're gonna
man.
be right here reporting on it. You're gonna be like, damn,
Yeah, I'll be right here laughing.
FBA was right, man. I
Yeah,
gotta
yo,
come back to
FBA,
the
yo, you guys are gonna rise. You
FBA.
guys are gonna rise up, and you're gonna be put right back the foot down. You know,
Yeah, they
you're gonna come
finna.
out there.
Hey, Colin, they finna rag dog Ghana. They finna
Oh man,
rag dog
all right,
Ghana.
this is gonna be funny, man. This is gonna be hilarious, man.
You know what's finna happen.
It's gonna be funny, man.
You
Like I
know what
said,
they
man,
did.
yo, look,
You they
man,
jumped out the
look,
window trying to what's his name, Michael B. Jordan.
they call me. Look, they call me the ringmaster because I deal with a circus of deadly clowns. My FBA
Bro,
people, man.
it's,
This is gonna be the funniest shit
they
I've
finna
ever seen in my life.
drag
Too bad
these
they didn't put
motherfuckers for the
American out there.
next.
Y'all gotta go
Hey,
Kala,
I'm
there.
gonna just be sitting back looking, Colin.
Y'all gotta do a
Kala,
Bro,
counter
Kala,
protest. That's gonna be so fucking funny.
Kala, let me give you an example, Kala. It's like You see, Carla, let me tell you this. You see, somehow, it's like a typical black woman, right? Who go on weekend, he would dress her very good. He would dress like a Gucci, dress all kind of, all kind of put the perfume of Issey Miyake, right? Then he would come to the club. Then you say, oh man, you're a chick. Then after everything, the next day, he will call you and say, yeah, I'm very happy to talk to you last time, everything. Can we see again? But see, you should start asking you for money, neither to buy gas or even to eat, because she have already spent all her money in, in dressing up to be somebody who is not even nobody. Just that way I see FBA people, broke ass, not in the head, pretending, and try to come out something else. In this world,
Who
you
cares how
must
you feel?
you must have to be organized. You people came in the wrong way. You're by insulting people and insulting everybody. Your KK master that is sponsoring people have already pushed you to the lion cage. Is now to be eaten now. The crocodile have already waited for you for a long time. Ghana is not the crocodile. Check that out.
Hey, Colin, your people are delusional, bro. These your
Yeah,
people.
like I said, it's gonna be interesting, man. Because on one hand, you got, I think they're bots. When the FBA bots want to talk, we're gonna stand and protest. I mean, of all things you're gonna protest right now, why are you
Yeah,
protesting
fuck
guns, man?
that. That's a
Yeah, yeah,
joke,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
a waste of
Y'all
time.
FBA people, y'all FBA people should be spending your
That's a
time.
waste of time. All these fucking loudmouth FBAs
Y'all should,
online, they
y'all should be
finna
down there.
drag these
Y'all should be
motherfuckers.
down there in Texas rallying behind Jasmine Crockett, doing something productive with yourself, man.
Yeah, ain't nobody finna
That's what I'm talking about.
protest.
Fucking what some African leader does. Look, I say it like this, right? Like I said, so everybody knows since Black America has no nation, where obviously America is becoming more white and defined as white. You see JD Vance, you see Erica, what's her name? Erica Kirk. Is that her name? Talking about white men. They're openly saying this is a white shit. So the government of Ghana saying, damn, my black people over there ain't got nobody. So we're gonna talk on their behalf. We see Bantam Mandinka. He needs some
Carla, that's
reparations.
not what they doing. They not speaking up
Colin
on our
trying
behalf,
Colin
bro.
trying to make a
Like,
case for
that's
this
not what's
bullshit.
happening.
That's
What
exactly
they
what's
trying to
happening, man.
do?
Come on, man.
No, they trying to harness the energy from
Colin trying to make
reparations
a
and
case for
use it for
Ghana.
themselves, bro. They not trying to help us.
Yo, look, man.
Everybody stupid, Colin, man. Say that shit.
Like, everybody can see this shit 100 miles away, bro. Like, we know what this is a
Hey, y'all,
Colin over
play.
here trying to make.
y'all too suspicious, man. Y'all too
They
Colin
suspicious.
over here
profiting
trying
off
to
our
play.
misery.
That's
They're
it.
profiting off our trauma. That's all they doing. They trying to
Colin
hijack themselves
over here
in.
trying to play like Ghana trying to help somebody, man. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They
But
trying to help themselves.
Motherfucker, you
yo,
got no trauma, motherfucker. You live African, real motherfucker. You live, I got trauma. What trauma do you have? You're Indian for a very long time. Now you got trauma? What trauma do
We
you
not ain't
have?
nobody on
You
here Indian, bro.
you you already told your birthright a long time. You're not African, you're
Condola is a
Indian.
colorist with a Dutch wife,
Yeah, bro.
man.
Like Kid Oli, your
Fucking
kids is
He,
Indian,
you
50%
man.
know, you gotta
African,
understand
bro.
his
Like,
brain
what are
is
you
kind
talking
of,
Fucking
about?
you
Indian.
Your
know,
Fucking
grandkids not
Indian,
gonna even be
man.
black, bro.
Go make the Indian people to pay you off, man. Don't come to the African
Oh,
table. Now we
I
have the
think
table
I
now
think he been
with
talking to
the
those
big poster
pretendings
card with
too
the big poster
much.
card in front of that table. Africa's only here. Ghana say Africa's only. British, American, the Spanish. Let's talk. You people took our people, right? Don't deal with
Kid
this
Ola, you know your kids
Indians
got
over
more
there.
white DNA than African
Hey,
Americans, right?
No. Don't go there. Don't go there.
hey,
Don't go there.
Kala, Africa didn't exist back then, did it?
Who tell you that?
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
No, it
dude.
didn't. No, it did not. What was the name
Well,
of
it's like
what
this.
was the name of
It's like this.
Africa back then?
Hold
Was
on.
not. Was
Benjamin Dinka.
not.
It's like this. Hold on. It's like
So
this. Hold on.
all these
Bite up
The
in the
motherfuckers
white
talking
man.
ear.
about Africa
Hold on.
this, Africa that, it didn't even exist.
Here's the thing.
Just like Ghana
Here's
didn't
the
exist.
thing. Let me tell you. I didn't tell you the full story, right?
All
The
right, go ahead.
Portuguese. Hold up. The Portuguese did something that was unique. That follows to this day. Listen to this. Listen to this, right? The Portuguese decided that all these people they met on the coast of Africa, they realized they had different cultures, everything like that. But they said that if we take them off this land, right, put them on a ship, get someplace else, They're no longer Ashanti. They're no longer this. We're not. They are now Negroes. They're black. Us being Africans is that we were taken off of them. When you go back to Africa and assimilate back, and you're no longer an African anymore. You're just a Igbo or
Yeah,
Yoruba, like
Africa didn't exist, man. Come on, just say it.
Yeah, I know, but hold up. But the transatlantic slave trade and racism created Africa.
Okay, there
So
you
it
go.
doesn't.
So it didn't exist back then. So
it didn't exist as an idea. No, it didn't exist.
Ghana didn't exist back then.
But
So
it came to existence when the Europeans showed up and decided.
yeah.
The Europeans
So none of
decided
that
that
shit
they
matter.
didn't care about your culture. They didn't care about nothing. All they saw was color. That's all they saw. And that's what they based your identity on. To this day, black people in America base their identity on color. Where people like Idola and all those other people in Africa base their identity on their culture.
How? When he has a white wife, his wife
The
not
point
part of
is
his
this,
culture.
man. Ghana can play all the
What are you
games.
talking about? Kid
Ghana can play all the games they want to
culture.
play.
You know,
Let them
King,
keep playing.
Check this out, King. The thing is, in Africa, I see it all the time. These motherfuckers be marrying white women, have white girlfriend. And look, perfect example what I'm talking about. Perfect example what I'm talking about. Listen to this very carefully. There's a white fat lady that's from the Midwest and whatnot. I felt bad that I was being disrespectful, right? On TikTok, right? She was in Liberia, Nimba County, right? And her son was there. He's like 6 years old. And he speaks Liberian Kolokwa. And basically, he was eating his fufu. He was eating his cassava leaf, whatnot. And the comment section, and he was talking like, all these Liberians like, oh, he's a true Liberian mono boy now, blah, 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 blah. They don't.
Nah, that's just that African shit. They'll accept any white person to come in there and
so and I'm saying
name them
myself,
a king.
Can we have anything for ourselves? And I felt bad because they got me. Why you gotta see color and blah blah blah. I said, the lady sounded like she was nice. She was with some NGO, whatever like that. But she says they with the local people. He speaks the local language up there, and he likes his Liberian food and whatnot. He likes cassava fish, whatnot. He said he's a regular Liberian boy. And I said,
yeah, I mean,
yeah, that's that gullible African behavior. But
that's exactly what we're up against. You know,
that little boy you see him there, inherit his great grandfather land and die on that land. So it's not about whatever you think in your mind. That boy have already been slowly be integrated and adulterated into the culture.
Well, how can you integrate into society? Well, how can a white person integrate society when
hold on. Look,
y'all won't accept other black people, you know, but y'all accept the white person. I don't understand that.
Kala,
they hate
the former president of Botswana that make Botswana very progressive and everything. The mom is a British woman.
Yeah, he was married to a white woman.
That don't mean nothing. Jerry Rollins was half white.
Kala, that man is still living in Botswana.
That's my favorite president from Ghana, man.
Taking care of his father's land and everything, Kala.
Here come
whatever you think in your mind is this. We talk about what we call fresh blood. We don't talk about if it's green or white, whatever it is. Fresh blood.
That's not true.
Africa have what called fresh blood. We're not like Moroccans who marry cousins who close by. Fresh blood.
Fulani's married cousins all the time.
Whatever comes out of that, whatever you say you saw in Liberia, that's where you're gonna be. That boy can be president of Liberia, and he can read anything.
And that's the problem.
You know. And if you have this kind of children for a very long time, you come in as a black American, say you're African. He will look at you and say, I don't give a damn who you are. This is my father's land.
You see that, Colin? You see him, bro?
He would tell you that.
See that shit,
Liberia, he'll never hold public office on land because we have a racist constitution. We don't let white people do that in Liberia, bro. It's not gonna have that. So we knew there'll be something. You know what? What different about Liberia is this? Liberia, it could never let white people gain a foothold on it in their country.
The people that came to the people that formed Liberia, they were not all fully black like that. They were hybrid.
No, that's a
true,
lie. That is
a lot of them niggas
lie.
was
That is a
Smokey
lie.
Robinson
Oh, that
style.
was a lie. That was a lie. They were fully black. Everyone was fully black.
I done seen them pictures. A lot of them niggas were light-skinned mulattoes, Carla. Let's be real.
Yeah, I know, but hold up. Hold up. Those were the pictures that they drew. The actual pictures I got them, they all were black. You know, the actual photos of E.J. Roy, Stephen Allen Benson. Look, I know this for a living. Now, some people revisit that, and you got white people who portrayed it for them. They gave them Caucasian features and whatnot.
Now, come on, Carla, let's be real. Some other people that went to Liberia were free blacks that descended from white slave masters.
Yeah, I know, but hold on.
They was mulattoes.
Okay, hold up. They explain
That's where all
E.J.
this
Roy.
colorism
Hold up. They explain E.J. Roy.
I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying some of the people taken from America to Liberia where
Stephen Allen Benson.
Okay, I'm just gonna give you examples then.
Colin, no, he just bullshitting, man.
Give me some names. Give me some names, King. Go ahead. Give me some names.
We gotta get back on Ghana. Fuck this.
I got you. I'm finna pull up some sources. What about Joseph Jenkins Roberts?
Yeah, Joseph Jenkins Roberts was like a quarter white, but he was really a black man from Virginia. You know, he was the father of the country. You know, he was just light skinned. That's all. You know, he was just light skinned. He was not mulatto or anything like that. He was light skinned.
Kala, don't change.
He was born in Virginia to a free mixed race family. Kala, come on, let's be real about American history.
Hold up. In this culture in Virginia, I'm from Virginia, right? Black people, whether they're friggin' high yellow, white, because I had family members that were that light. They were still black. You know, you go to people like that.
Yes, Kala, they still black, but when we go back into their lineage, they descend from a white person.
They got white in their lineage, but when it comes down to it, they were part of the black community.
No, I fully agree with that. But what I'm telling you is, in the inception of Liberia, some of the people that were involved were mulattoes.
The thing is, they still had the mindset of a black man. America, they was the one who wrote the Constitution that said only black men could own land here. They were not white men, trust me.
Kala.
They wasn't like Kidola though. That's my point.
Kala, you see.
That's
Africa,
a good
Kala.
thing they wasn't like Kidolas. The fuck, dumbass motherfucker.
Kala. Let me tell you something, Kala. Don't ever. I live in Nigeria. I see these things, Kala. You feel me?
And nobody gives a fuck about Nigeria.
So let me tell you this, Kala. There's a billionaire from our side, billionaire dollars. His first son will be given birth by a Polish woman. When the man died, he will most of the things to the first son. The first son now include the African woman give birth to him. He and the senior lady from that woman, they start running what called the media company. The other children, he's not the father of the home.
Why are you guys always so keen on marrying Europeans? I don't understand.
So it's not about that, Kala.
They don't care about black people, bro.
Kala,
whoever plan with you, plan with, Kala.
They got Stockholm syndrome bad, man.
You know.
So what I try to tell you, Kala, these guys might be saying this, but it's totally in Africa, it's totally different ball game. That's what I told you. The former president of Botswana, the mom is a British woman who fought for the independence of Botswana, and they died.
Yeah, it's a different time.
At that fight, at that battle, the woman did dump the man. They fought it together. The son, you have two boys. One was the president, one was in the army. Then after one time, the guy said, "I'm tired, man. Somebody has to take over this." That is the guy that make Botswana very rich today. You understand me? Because he feed Botswana. His father's from the tribe.
I know Seretse Khama. I know his old story and whatnot. But even when he got married to that woman, you know, that was a very controversial. Then again, hold on. I always said this, right? And when you talk about countries like Botswana, Rwanda, stuff like that, the problem is this, right? The race dynamic does not exist there as they do in America. In America, that's a real political and social statement you're making when you date outside your race because of the history in this country. You know, Black and white people can marry what they want, but when it comes down to America and defining America, that's why even Barack Obama, he knew if he had to be president, he had to get if he had to build a political base, he had to get the black community right, and he knew the only way the black community was going to accept him was he had to be married to a black woman. That's why he got Michelle. You know.
Yeah, but is he happy? Is Obama really happy? Let's just be honest. Is he really happy?
I don't know. They look happy to me. You know, they're together. You know.
Look, you marry somebody so once in a while, come out that disgrace you, want to overshine you. You understand me? Look at Ouattara. You see wife always in media. Look at even the Guinea guy. You see wife always in media. Behind the scene, these are planners. You understand me? So you married
the
a black
president of
woman.
Guinea is with a white woman. But the thing is, the reason why I don't judge him because he doesn't come from my culture. You know, it's a different culture.
So what make you happy? That's what you're gonna be with. And who make you plan? You're gonna plan with that person.
Well, hold on. I get that. But the bottom line is this: if you're gonna lead other people, right, and you're gonna be a political figure, and who you married to, you can't be just married to. Why do you think the difference between Africans and Indians is this? In Asia, they carefully choose or do arranged marriage, stuff like that, who's somebody most likely to marry because they're building a strong society. That's why they got shit that we as black people don't have. We don't give a shit about nothing. You know, you could have all the stuff like that. You see black African girls, they'll date a white guy, you know, the bloodline ends. You know, black guy marries a white woman, bloodline ends, you know.
Get over your bloodline over.
You know, the bloodline ends, you know, we don't get it. But you go India, they make sure, like China and whatnot, they make sure they could trace your ancestors back and whatnot because they want to continue something that passes down wealth, inheritance, and everything. We don't have nothing because the family structure in the black race is fucked up. You know, we don't know who the hell we are or who we came from, whatever like that. There's a lot of shit going on with the black race that we need to recognize. And it all starts with slavery, the slave trade. That's what it starts with, you know. Till we build the black race back up again through families and marriage and whatnot, we're not going to do anything. You can't build no nation without building families, black families. You know, that's why I see it. You know, like if you want to do,
Carla, I like your idea, Carla. You can be a guy who can sit on table with discuss a lot of things and see how it comes. You know, you remember me of way back, it's our early 60s, African man. You know, you
man,
say
I'm
what
nothing
you
like
want
a
to
fucking 60s African man.
No,
Please
no, no, no,
understand.
no. Guess me. I'm not saying your sisters, those sisters, man. I said way back, man. It's in the 60s, year 60s, say way back before 70s. Let me tell you, Carla, what you're seeing now was being discussed in Africa by the elderly men. When African men started coming with Russian women to Africa, when they went there to study, there before even someone started even going to United States to study, then they were coming with these women and children. Then there was a debate. What we're going to do? Who are these people? Who are the children? Then the African men, the elderly men, now concluded they literally have the ghost and the spirit of their father. Say, yes. Who are we to be punished if these children will start denying them their access to the heritage?
Yeah, now hold on. Let me say this, Kinola. You know, respect. Now I agree with you. You know, they like this, but that does not entitle you to privilege. Like even in the mafia, right? In order for you to be made in the mafia, you have to have 100% Italian ancestry back to the old land. If you have one Irish or German ancestors, you're excluded because they got to protect that bloodline. You know, and problem with the black race, not just Africa, right? Is when we have mixed race people, not only we don't put them to the side and say, hey, you got to understand like this. And usually most people understand, okay, I'm not pure blooded. Let me stand this side because I got to protect the bloodline. We elevate the mixed race people and pedestalize them. That's self-hate. Now, if you have mixed race people, I got mixed race people in my family. But I'm not gonna pedestalize them, you know. And I love my mixed race nieces and nephews and everything like that, you know. But the bottom line is this: I'm not gonna pedestalize them, you know. Problem is, the black race, we pedestalize people who are not pure black, and people who are pure black, that should be an honor. But in what you call it, in a black culture, in African culture, like I see it all the time, particularly Nigerians and Africans and whatnot. When they have mixed race grandkids and whatnot, they'll sit there and call, like my good brother Michael London. Mitchell London. I met him in Liberia a couple of years ago when me and good friends. We have to bump each other in Liberia. I thought he was gonna punch me because we always fighting online, right? so we bumped into each other in the store in Liberia. But it used to bother me that his first wife was a white lady, right? White girl, and he had 3 kids with her, right? And it used to bother me that he used to call his son, a mixed race boy, my little bossa boy. That bothers me when I hear Africans call them mixed race kids that. And obviously your answer, the kid was all white. The kid was not mixed, it was all white. Until the white lady lived up in Denver County. And it was like, they're on TikTok, and she cooks all Liberian dishes and whatnot, She raised her son like a Liberian, whatever like that, the food, everything like that, He talks to Pekin, the Liberians, oh man, he's a real Liberian boy now. And I don't think the black race is going to survive this. Other people, man, they guard their bloodlines, their heritage, their race, and everything like that. Now, if you are going to mix race or not, the people who are mixed race got to be
the people that fought for the black race freedom in the United States, they all mixed race.
Well, I never hold up. I never agreed with that because a lot of people, not all of them, but a lot of people who are mixed race, right? Like this guy named Charles Spurgeon Johnson, right? This guy wrote the book called The Black Republic, right? Basically condemning Liberia. He was basically one of these blacks that basically tried to discredit the Garvey and all stuff like that because he was near white himself. And that's why he's been written out of history, because he was near white himself. And his whole idea, he was part of the Blue Vein Society. These people believe that the closer we are to the white race, the better off we are. There's always been people like that, in the black race. We call them blue veins. But that don't mean, but they were always pedestalized by white people and put out in front of us. We don't really never have any last grassroots movements we had was the Nation of Islam. We had the Garvey movement on that. But a lot of people you see, like the boys, all these other people, were put there by the white power structure, to do their bidding.
You've seen the surface of a whole deep culture. You feel me? A surface of where you're coming from, it might be there. There's what we call initiation in some of Africa countries. So the culture is thick, can be changed. So will you see these kids something? Oh no, they're not. Sometimes when it comes to initiation time, they be blended into the culture and who to the staff of whatever they give to them to protect the tribe and the culture. Your mind might be thinking, oh, this is this. But to us, it's the deepness and initiation and the show of oath to protect the tribe and wherever it comes out of that tribe.
By basically making sure the bloodline doesn't mix.
You hear me? So it's not about what you think about a surface part of this. No. Otherwise, African culture would have changed long time.
You never see the white man as the enemy if he your kids, bro. Let's be real. You're never gonna fight against no European if he's in your bed.
That's what I'm saying.
Which white man?
The white man is your child, bro. That white man. The one you eloped with and procreated with.
What is that? What is that all about? So you see this on surface. Yeah, I was being initiated to a man, and I ought to hold on to that. My son will be initiated. George will be initiated to the culture.
Right. If your son marries a white woman, what will your grandchildren be?
If you attack my tribe,
have you ever
hold on, forget about that.
I know education where you from ain't that large, but have you ever studied biology?
You fighting for the white man in Iran right now. You know,
I'm
something,
not
but you
fighting
look
for
bad.
no white man. I'm on the
So
internet arguing with
so
you,
so
genius.
so my son will fight for my tribe and to the last blood. Which one is better? You know, you
If
fight for the
your
white man.
son does the
You know,
same thing as you, what
you
race
fighting
will
for the
your
white man.
grandchildren
You
be?
fighting for my son gonna be the head of my village, and you're gonna hold
And
this. You're
okay,
gonna
and
hold
in
the.
that
You
village,
know,
what
you're
race will
gonna
the
hold the staff of my
grandchildren be?
office. You know, but you,
They will be
the,
75% of European, bro.
you does it matter?
It does
The
matter.
nutrition
Because if they do
the
the
nutrition
same
is already
thing,
there.
your
The nutrition
entire
is
black
already there.
bloodline is gonna be wiped out.
The spirit. You see, you forget who fought for you people in America. Most of those
What?
guys most of those guys that fought for people, they all mixed race. They were not scared.
No,
They were putting their
dumbass.
head.
No, the
They were
Civil
putting their
War
neck. They
black
were putting their
regiments
neck on
was
the road.
black as hell. Many of them
Yo,
was
check this out.
runaway
Yo, look,
No, no,
slaves,
no.
bro.
check this out. The 54th Infantry of Massachusetts, right, is the one that turned the tide of the Civil War and basically put the Union on the offensive. That was those were strong black men. The Harlem Hellfighters, right, that went to Europe, that took out the Germans, black men, the Red Tails, you know, Tuskegee. We are all types of black men in this country. Ain't a few so-called
The one that
mulattoes doing anything
the
like
one
that, you
that
know.
face, the one that make people have civil rights and everything, they all mixed race, bro.
Hold on. First of all, civil rights is just one part. Look, the civil rights movement, Black America has been built for generations of black people who are millionaires. We produced millionaires in the 1800s. We had our first black banks in
Yeah,
the
but
early 1800s, you know? And the bottom
that's
line,
what
hold on,
see.
bottom line is this. We had all kinds of things going on in Black America, all different types of black people, different complexions and that. We're all one hodgepodge of people. We identify we identify as black. The bottom line is history and whatnot. When you basically saying is when somebody is white, they lose their identity. Hold up, I gotta switch PCs into studio. They lose their identity.
So what's up, Elvis Presley? You think Ghana got a case?
What's up, guys? I mean, I think Ghana first has to have a course of action. You know, they have to show that they have a course of action, and then they have to show damages. So, whatever they're suing for, they have to show that they were injured in some way. So, if they can't show that, then they don't have a
No,
standing, a legal standing to make the case.
no bueno.
We're getting a lot of echo. I think somebody got
Yeah,
the.
that's Kala. Kala trying to come back in.
Hold up. That's me. That's me.
I would love to do a cross examination on Ghana.
I think it'd be different if they would have got with all 50 plus African countries and then made a claim for reparations. But just asking on behalf of
because the
saying y'all
question
gonna
is
settle
on
the
what
whole black
basis, right?
blood.
Yeah, how they gonna
Right.
have
The
a
question is on
case
what basis?
when they already apologized publicly for
Because
slavery, and now they're gonna ask for
yeah,
reparations?
I was
Hey, Connor,
listening to
just turn your
Donis'
bandwidth
show.
down to 144 if you're on YouTube. You'll make it go faster.
I was listening to Donis' show today, and those guys were making an argument. And the brother Burkinabe was making an argument that although I think black people should get reparation, and Africans were complacent in the slave trade, but I think the point that he was making, and I wish I was there to elaborate that point, is that on the coast, right? You pretty much have warlords. You know, this is not the entire tribe, but you might have a guy of, trading slaves. He might have a little army or a gang with him with guns and superior weaponry than the other African tribes. So these are the slave raiders. So they're going into these villages, raiding these, villages and keeping these slaves in those castles and dungeons until the Europeans, do a 6 to 8 months journey to Europe and then come back and pick up those slaves. So when you say Africans were selling their brothers, yeah, but most of the time it's one or two people that has a whole gang of people with with muskets and arms,
Well, you can say
superior
that with the Germans
weaponry
then.
from the
Yeah,
Europeans.
that ain't true, bro. It was
You can
all
say
kind
the
of
same thing
kings
with the
and
Nazis
peoples that
then. You want
held
to use that
positions
excuse?
that sold slaves. Let's be real, bro.
No, what I'm
Well,
telling you, this is
it's
a documented
I
fact,
don't
right?
think he making an
That
excuse,
it's
but he
not
just saying.
right. I'm telling you
No, you
that
just
these
said
guys
it was
had a
people that had little bitty people running with them that weren't sovereigns. It was actual kings and tribal leaders that sold slaves. Alfonso of the Congo,
yeah.
slave seller. Queen Nzinga, slave seller, bro.
I gave
Like,
It
you
was
bro.
a
I
it
gave
was a
you
big
one example,
operation,
right?
brother. That wasn't
Hold
no
on.
small town thing. It's a big operation that was going on.
Nah, I'm giving you specific, instances.
No, I just told you specific
So
names of people that were sovereigns that sold slaves, bro.
no, but when you say,
Alfonso of
listen
the
to what I'm
Congo,
saying. When you say
slave
Africa,
trader.
I hear
So were
you. You
all
can't.
Germans Nazis
Yeah,
then?
yeah. You're
Yes
being
or
too
no?
emotional, bro.
Were
No, I'm
all
not getting
Germans
emotional. I'm
No,
just
of
Nazis?
course.
distorting
Anybody that
At
history.
the
knows that
end
was.
of the day, Ghana don't have a case,
I
man.
mean, these guys. Right, these guys won't listen. I'm not even talking about Ghana's case. I'm talking about the guy that was making an argument, and I think
Oh,
everybody was misunderstanding what he was trying to say, and that's what I'm trying to explain. When people say Africans, right, they're saying it encompasses everybody, and that's the point that he was making. Is that there were few people amongst a specific group of people, even on a
And
specific geographical
that's what we're
location.
refuting what you just said. It was a few people. No, bro, it was the most powerful people in Africa at the time carrying out these atrocities,
Where
bro.
the most powerful people, the majority of the people.
Don't matter,
Brother,
bro.
that's in any case.
It's Donald
Okay,
Trump,
there
the
you go. You
majority
just
of the
defeated your
people.
argument.
He's going
Okay,
against
but check this
Iran,
out.
right?
Yeah,
So
so
we
when
can't.
that's
So the
what we're
Jews can't
saying.
get
So
reparations,
my
right?
point
Because
here is
all
that there was a
Germans weren't
few
Nazis,
people
right?
who
It
were
was a few
powerful.
Nazis that were running
Some of them were
everything, right?
monarchs, and some of them were warlords, and
No, you
warlords
just
who
Ben
had
just gave you the perfect example, bro. He just gave you the perfect example.
what's the example he gave me? I didn't hear.
He just
he
said we're all
says
Jews, we're all
something
Germans,
about the
Nazis.
Nazis was running it.
Of course not. No intelligent
Okay.
person would say that.
So all Africans didn't
So all
sell
But
slaves
Africans
either.
were not slave traders. That's the point
well, no,
that's the
no,
point
no,
we're
no.
We
saying.
agree
My
with
Course
point.
that,
not.
but it
But
was the most
for Ghana
Okay,
to
prominent
then.
make
So
this
that's what are
claim,
you
enslaved
arguing with
land.
me
man, where
for?
is this coming from? That's what I want to know. Where is this coming from? Is this
Right. What are
Somebody
you
don't want
arguing
to
with
take
me for? Do you agree with
accountability.
my point?
Because Elvis, you're
No,
not
did he just
understanding what I'm
agree
saying. You're
with
saying it was only a few Africans. We agree with that, but these few Africans were the most powerful people in the land at the time.
Hey,
Oh,
Elvis, I can give the
that's true.
Germans
What I'm
credit
saying,
for
I'm giving you
taking accountability
oh
for what
boy.
they did to the Jews. I can give them credit for that. They don't try to wiggle out of it.
And that's a
You know what I'm
fact.
saying?
Yeah,
When you go to
I hear that,
Germany,
but
they take accountability. They don't say, "Oh, it wasn't all Germans. It was just the powerful Germans that
Yeah,
were
Elvis, why
Nazis."
not just name the fucking
I mean,
Liberia
yeah,
natives that
Ghana got
sold
some
slaves?
nerves. I mean, who making the claim, Elvis? Do you know?
It's Ghana making the claim.
right. So Ghana, that's the point I'm trying to make. These guys are not understanding what I'm saying too. So for like I said, I'm taking my own area for example, where my people come from. Right on the coastal area, you had a king like a Bassa king, you know, called Bob Gray. Right, that's his English name because he went to Liverpool. You know, you even had another guy called Boatswain, who was a boatswain on the slave ships and went down to Liverpool and got educated. So these are powerful, traditional people who were engaged in the slave trade. But that don't mean that the entire tribe was engaged in the slave trade. It might be just this one guy who got powerful from selling slaves. Hire
Okay,
people,
Elvis,
hire a
this
bunch of
is
people
what we
behind
saying.
him
Nobody
and
ever
started
said it was
selling
the
slaves.
entire tribe, bro.
Yeah, I mean that's all
So that's
right,
what I'm
but
saying.
you know that tribe got to take that
Yeah,
L
I'm
though.
trying to
Yeah,
tell you
y'all
that
gotta
this is
be
the
accountable for that.
conversation. Hold on. I preface it by saying this is the conversation that we're having on Dynasty's show today. I'm not saying any of you guys said it. That's why you guys have to listen for a second, right? So I'm just saying that in many instances, when people say Africans sold slaves, they don't distinguish or they don't understand that. Yes, if a
No,
guy
they
was
right
selling
though,
slaves on
because
the
the people
coast,
that we
that
talking about
don't.
that sold slaves are Africans, bro. Like Africans did
I
sell
mean,
slaves.
yeah, we can get
I mean, no, because that's too
specific.
broad, right? If somebody generalized African
Yeah.
Americans for doing something bad, you would say, well, not all African Americans are like that.
You would say that, right?
Yeah, I mean, we can get
It depends
specific.
on the
It's not a
historical
problem.
conversation we having, bro.
It's like Pearl Harbor, nigga. We know all the
Right.
Japanese didn't bomb Pearl Harbor, but they still
Yeah,
got them
bro.
bombs dropped on their ass.
It's like saying not all black people were enslaved and
Right.
not all black people were
Oh,
sharecroppers.
But
Like, yeah,
oh,
nigga,
is
we
that how
know
you
that.
normally talk, or you just animated tonight?
It's how I normally talk, bro.
Okay, all right. I don't, I mean, I don't want to be offended by it. I just want to know because maybe I get overly animated because it's not an
Because when
argument.
you
I'm just
say
saying, like,
Africans
you
didn't
guys are
sell
smart enough.
slaves,
You
bro,
understand what I'm saying, so
y'all
you get my
don't
point.
immediately specify the Africans that did sell slaves. What y'all trying to do is absolve the whole continent of
yeah,
what
I
happened.
get your point, but
No, that's not what I'm saying. I literally said there was people who were, like slave raiders, right? And the reason they were able to do these things, I was trying to give you the reason behind it, because they had superior weapons from the slave, buyers that they sold slaves to. So a guy who's maybe a warrior, regular warrior, goes and get like 10 or 15 people behind him with muskets. Everybody has maybe spears and bow and arrows, and he can go into a village, put that gun to your head, maybe kill a couple of people as a show of force, and then he can go and raid the entire village and take them to the coast and put them in a dungeon and wait for the slave master, the slave traders to come and pick those people up. So when people ask the question how how the slave trade happened, that's one of the one
It
example of how it
wasn't
could have
one or two
happened.
people. It took
So
a
I'm not.
Yeah,
machine to do
that's
that.
where we're arguing with you, bro. The
You
slave
said it
trade
took a
was a well
machine.
organized phenomenon, bro.
I mean,
It wasn't
yeah.
It
just a nigga
wasn't
with a
one man that
musket.
went in the village and
Yeah,
it was a machine, a whole operation.
no,
I
it
mean,
was
it had to
kings
be a
and
lot of
tribal
people in
chiefs, bro.
Okay,
collaboration, but
explain it to me, brother. Maybe I'm uninformed. Explain the machine to me,
I'll
It's
because you
like
explain it
guys
to
were
it's
you.
like
talking
Adolf
about a
Hitler, man.
chain of.
It wasn't him that put the Jews in the oven. He had a whole machine of people, a whole
Yes, bro.
nation that
He had
cooperated with it.
lieutenants, generals, the whole nine. Like, bro,
Yeah,
same
Hitler
thing
didn't
that
kill
yeah,
one
happened to
yeah. So
Jew.
you think that's how
Elvis,
the slave? You think that's
Hitler
how the
Elvis,
didn't
slave
kill
trade
not one
was?
Jew.
in Africa
Elvis,
with the
Elvis,
kings, bro.
Elvis,
When the
Elvis,
Portuguese and the other Europeans
Elvis.
came to
So
Africa,
hold on, because
they
I want to hear these guys. Let them flesh out their theory.
look
I want
when
to
the
hear what they
Portuguese
say.
and the other
So you
Europeans
got to
came
break
to
it down to me. Who was
when
at
the
the top of
Portuguese
it? Who
and
was the
I'm
second
breaking
man?
it
Who was the
down when the
third man?
Portuguese and the other Europeans came to Africa, they spoke to the kings and recognized that these kings were at war
who
with
you
their other
ask? You
tribal
asking
leaders.
Joseph
They
or me?
gave them things
Oh,
so they could
Joseph
take
jumped
slaves
up.
from those other villages,
No, that
bro.
was
All of
Colin.
this
Did
is
Colin come
documented.
back in?
Like, it
Just
wasn't
like
just no
Hitler didn't
go
kill
ahead,
that one
bro.
Jew. He was the trigger. He was the button man. Just like with the
Same as Donald
mafia.
Trump not killing no Iranian. Like, no, it wasn't just a dude with a
Is this
musket
something
on
that
his
you read in the
shoulder,
book, or is this something that you're making up?
bro.
It's common
I'm just
sense, man.
Is
yeah,
it?
bro. You like
No,
y'all
no. You see,
Africans.
so that means it's
Reason
something
the
you're making
FBA
up.
exists, bro. Niggas like you are the reason the FBA
It's
exists, bro. When they
it's
issue citations,
phantasmagorical, right?
no,
It's
bro.
phantasmagorical. You're
You're
making up
not
a
making
fantasy
any
in
sense.
allegorical order
One dude
as
with
if
a
it's a
musket
fact. It's not a
enslaved
fact.
a whole village, bro. You're not making no damn sense.
Did you hear what I said? Did I say
Uh,
one dude? Are you listening
uh,
keenly?
Elvis, let me just be honest. When these Negroes started coming to Africa, this so-called FBA,
I'm going
if you
off of the
notice,
shirt thing
the
here.
white would never
Shit.
want to see them in Africa
Salute.
because
FBA salute. Double
because
salute. Adios.
these people, they're good for Africans. When they start entering Gambia, they start disturbing the peace over there. These people are
Come on,
the
kiddo. The
ones that are
Bag
speaking
family ain't
now.
bothering
These
nobody.
people,
The Bag
these people that
family's
are
not
speaking
bothering
now.
nobody.
These people that are speaking now. These are white men
Bro,
in
you have a
the
white son. What are you talking
these are
about,
white
bro?
men
You got a white
in the shady
spouse, bro.
you are a white man in a shady color. You
No,
understand me?
bro. Nigga,
So
your offsprings are white
white black.
men. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like,
You're a
nigga,
white man.
nobody
So
respects your opinion on
so
Africa or Black America. No
so
African or no Black American,
neither
bro.
you are Indian and everything. But now when it comes to money right now,
I'm
you want
not
to
an
claim
Indian, nigga.
Africa.
I'm 90%
Now
African, more
now
than your son.
now there's money. Then it's trying to chase it back that you people right now. Oh, I'm an African. You're not African. We reject you already. You're not African. Be
Bro, you
Indian.
can't respect nothing. You're not even in
You know,
Africa. You live in the UK with a white woman.
be Indian and remain Indian. Don't switch. Now you want to switch immediately right now? Hell no, man. Be Indian, brother. You hear me? Go and be eating the Indian food, the cornbread and everything they used to as a Choctaw. You know,
Bro, you
we're
over
gonna
there
claim the
eating
bag.
beans and toast, bro. What are you
You
talking
know,
about?
we're
Your
gonna be claiming the
spouse
bag
is
right now, man.
hell,
But
fam.
we will we claim the
They
bag
eating
in a total
porridge.
different form, not by cutting the check, but through fair trade and other things, right? So you're just remain Indian, and that is good. Don't switch. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody on
Then
this
we will
channel is an Indian, dumbass.
they
You
we will
just a
fight for
white
the
boy.
Caribbeans, people like the Jamaicans who are majority over there as African Jamaican to get their own thing. So don't switch right now. Go and meet Tony Talk, and if you connect, or go to White House and fight for you. Those people who achieve nothing, you know. So we don't lose no sleep. If people like it or not, we just watch people destroy yourself.
Elvis, King Gizo of the homie wasn't a person that had 10 people in a musket, bro. He was a king and a slave trader.
Yeah, I was giving you specific, example from where I come from, right? So I'm just telling you how some of it happened. In other places, it was more organized for sure, but in other places, it was loose, and you had a few like warlords who had a gang of people behind them and was going in villages. Some people resisted, but because they had better
And
weapons,
for the most part,
they
when you look at the sources, the organized slave trade came from prominent people for the most part, not no just person in the village with 10 dudes with them.
Kala,
okay. I mean, I
Elvis,
want to see if you have some sources. I want to see. I'm not saying you're
I
wrong,
Hey
but I
can't
want to
even
Elvis,
see.
go to
you
King
make it bad
Go
Gizo
for
ahead, brother.
Africans
anyway,
by
bro.
doing that, man. You guys are
Elvis,
denial.
Elvis,
You
Elvis. There's a
deflecting.
guy.
Let's take
There's
No,
Igbo
accountability.
guy.
I just said
Elvis,
it was
Elvis. There's Igbo guy with the British bought at the age of 7, right? That guy fought for abolition of slave trade in England. The guy become a lawyer, a prominent guy. Guess what? Because that
Yeah, I
guy
think his
kept
name was
his
like
name, right?
Equinos or something like
Yes,
that. Yeah.
yes. They want to find his village, and they want to find his descendant. His father was like a judge in the community, right? If you do wrong, these are people that judge you, sentence you, or fine you. That boy was being kidnapped, would never be sold by anybody. Because his father was a judge, what happened, according to the family, said what they told them, this kid was 7 years old. He was playing alone. That's how they think a member of the community kidnapped him and sold it off just to pain his father because father was a judge in that community. You understand me? So they could find his ancestors back to where he's coming from and the house exactly. You know, those that live in Lagos, they were running to the village. You understand me? And some of them in that community was even ashamed. The family, they were crying. Wow. They saw the guy picture, they saw everything, you know, and then they were surprised. And the descendants of those children, might not be from him directly, but his relatives look exactly like that man in that picture. You understand me? So all this was, oh, I'm not African. Man, you're not African. We don't even want you.
Bro, nobody on this entire show has ever said they weren't African, bro. You
You
be
know,
arguing with some niggas that ain't
nobody
even up
wants you.
here.
No, not coming
Like,
by
bro,
the
nobody
Ghana want
on
to
here
carry
is
the
FBA.
Ghana want to carry the money.
Everybody up here has more African DNA than your children, bro. Everybody.
Go and clip a Choctaw and Blackfeet,
Hey,
be
bro.
given to you by that
I'm
comedian guy.
tired of hearing you talk, bro. Hey, man, I hate African niggas with white wives, bro. I mean, you niggas get on
No,
my
man,
nerves,
no,
bro.
no,
You niggas
no,
are the
don't go that
reason
level.
Africa
Don't go
sucks and is in the position that it's in,
don't go
bro.
that go
You
to
have no
don't go
race
that level, man.
consciousness, bro.
I
When was the
see
last
you,
time
I
you was
see
even
you,
in Africa, bro?
I see you in the club, man,
Exactly,
chasing
nigga.
what you think you hear right now. I see you
Nah,
in the
Exactly.
club chasing.
Kadola lives in
I,
Africa. He lives in Lagos. He lives in
Man,
I
where the
see
Africa.
you in the
fuck you
club
going,
chasing.
bro?
I see you in the club chasing that lady, bro.
Kidola
Don't
lives in
pretend.
Europe with a white woman.
I see you in the club chasing that white woman, begging to buy you convert right now. I know
Man, I
your
don't
type.
chase no white women,
You know,
bro.
I know your
You
type,
are
man.
a clown,
Run
fam.
after German women begging to buy convert. You know, you know. I know your type.
Elvis,
No, no,
Akin
don't start
Simoleon
with the
was the
B one.
Oba of Lagos in 1704 and was also a slave trader. These are
No,
kings, not nobody living in the bush with 10 people and a musket.
You said
That's
no,
these are
crazy.
no, no.
king. You need one person to. I
I
give
gave
you
you
an
three
example,
different
right?
kings. Bro. I gave you two kings of Dahomey
Stop,
and an
stop
Oba
talking.
of Lagos.
Yeah, I mean, bro,
Yeah.
come on, man. Like, why do you talk
Hey,
like that?
Elvis, how come you
That's
can't
a
take accountability,
offensive
man?
way to
That you
talk.
make the
Yeah, bro.
situation
Like, why
worse.
you gotta lie about the slave trade?
No, did you hear what I said
Yes, I
before I
heard
even started
everything you
talking?
said time after time,
What
bro.
did I say before I started talking?
Bro, you said sometimes it was
I
just
said
a guy
yes, the
that had a gang
Africans.
of people
No,
and
no, that's not what I said. I said
he had about 10 people with him
no.
and they raided villages. That's
I
exactly
said
what
the
you said, bro.
Africans were complacent and they definitely participated in the slave trade. That's what I said before I even started talking. Before I made my point.
And
I'm
then you
giving you an
started trying to
example
make
of one.
excuses for it, bro.
I'm no, listen to what I'm saying, man. My particular area, right there on the Green Coast, right, the Crew Coast. I'm giving you an example of what happened there. It could be different what happened in the Bight of Benin or or the Bight of Biafra, or even all the way down to the Swahili coast or whatever the case may be. But I'm telling you what happened in that little area, and it happened in other areas like that. Where yes, maybe a king or a ruler may have participated, and in other instances, you may have had a warlord who sold people and got weapons from the white, slave traders, and used those weapons to get more slaves. That's the point that I'm making to you. So if that person is a
Elvis,
Mandinka person, right? The entire
Elvis, you're
Mandinka, hold
right.
on, Calcutta, let me just finish my thought, please. The entire Mandinka tribe is not there having a meeting and saying we're going to sell these people because we hate them. It might be one person who happens to be a Mandinka who is raiding his own village or his neighboring villages and selling slaves. But what happened in today's words that we put the entire blame on that ethnic group, on that on that tribe because somebody
Nobody
from
ever
there was a
blamed the
warlord
entire
or
ethnic
some
group,
kind
bro.
of
You're trying to absolve an entire ethnic group and an entire
no,
continent.
no. Oh boy, you're not listening. I'm telling you, this is the conversation that was on Dinah's show. I prefaced that too when I started talking,
Where is
and
Zolu
they
Duma
they kind
from,
of
Elvis?
misunderstood one of the panelists.
Elvis, where is Zolu
Say
Duma
that
from?
again.
And where is Zolu Duma from? King Peter.
Zolu Duma.
hmm
I don't know.
King Peter.
I heard a name before, but I'm not sure.
He's from
El-
Oh,
Liberia,
King
bro.
Peter. Oh yeah, yeah. King Peter from he's from
Man,
Liberia. Yeah,
stop
yeah.
playing
I've heard
with
that
us,
name
bro.
before. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a slave trader and a king, bro. What are you talking about?
I mean, when you say that, what is his ethnic group?
A Bassa man. Hey, no,
No,
he
King
one of
Peter
your
was a
people.
day. King Peter was a day.
No, he's not a
He
Bassa
was a
man. He's a
monk.
Day
He was
or
a
a
monk
Gola
in the
man.
day.
That's what it say.
No, bro.
But they're days
Yeah.
though. They were days though.
So yeah, so he's not a Bassa man. But you think the Gola people had a meeting with King, Peter, as they
No,
call
bro.
him,
Nobody
that he
ever
should
said an
enslave
entire
people?
ethnic group. What you're saying is various
So
Africans
then,
from many ethnic
I mean,
groups and
bro, the
many
way you
tribes
talk is,
were kings
it's like
sold
it's the
slaves.
way you talk is so jarring. It's like you're already in like the heat of an argument. It's off putting the way you talk. I don't know if that's
Bro,
just the
you
Elvis,
way you
act
talk.
like slavery was some blip in
Elvis,
history
you're
that
right.
don't matter, bro.
You see this Igwe, you see the Igwe in Igbo land, right? These are these are middlemen and henchmen. You understand? Mother Tinubu, you see, Mother Tinubu was running his own army, gangsters that going towards Abeokuta to kidnap people, right? We never really directly by King Oba Akitola like that or Akidoyo like that, you know. So you're right. Nearly everywhere they will have like middlemen, henchmen. Sometimes some of them work with the king, sometimes some of them on their own, and they have the
Right.
weapons, right? That will put 2 people, 3 people down. Africans they have guns at that time, but some of these middlemen they were having these guns, and
They
Africa
were
said
having a gun.
they got some that
Exactly.
put down. They got some that put down 4 people down. That's where they describe it,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So
They'll kill 3 or 4 of them right in front of you, and then you're stuck. You freeze up. You're stun locked. Can't really do anything, and that's how they do it because they know the weapon is
yeah,
superior to the
so
spears
it's not like
and
everybody
whatever.
was heavily involved in it or this was involved in this. That's why a typical African person didn't even know how slave business what really happened then until we
No, that's
started
because y'all
seeing
don't get taught or study history. That don't got nothing to do with
So
nothing.
so let me ask the brother, the good king, right? Do you think that slavery should be a collective guilt of the Africans, or do you think those families that you can identify who sold slaves should be the one to be blamed and accused of slavery?
No, it needs to be a collective guilt for the entire
See, there
African
you go.
continent.
That's the point I was making. That's my point, and now you got it right there.
If they sold slaves from Nigeria to Congo to Cameroon to Madagascar,
So you want it
why
to be a
wouldn't they be on
collective
the
guilt?
whole entire continent?
I mean, listen to yourself. See that we're just talking, and you kind of contradicting what you said earlier because you
I'm not
said,
contradicting
"Well, we're not
anything,
saying
bro.
everybody participated," but now you say it should be a collective guilt.
Bro, you're all over
Should
the
the
place.
Russians, because they're white, be also, culpable for the slavery of the white Americans and the white British because they're white, even though Russians didn't go to Africa and buy any slaves?
No,
You
but we
know,
should still
Elvis, you
look at them
sound like
as
the
white
white boys over
people,
here when it
bro.
come to slavery. Our people didn't do it.
I'm only
I
asking a
wasn't over
question.
here. It
You,
just
you guys are
you
smart
guys be
people. We
tap
can have an
dancing.
intelligent conversation. No,
Yeah,
no,
bro.
we're
Drop
having
it,
an
Because
intelligent
please.
niggas not
conversation.
intelligent,
He said
bro.
the blame should be collective, right? Even for those people who didn't participate. Do you know that parts of Africa, parts of Africa didn't participate in the slave trade, but they should all be, you know,
Your phone
held
was breaking
because
up,
they're
bro.
African?
Your phone was breaking up. I didn't hear the last thing you
Elvis,
said.
can I ask something? Elvis, who
No,
are the
I'm saying,
descendants of
do
this?
you know parts, hold
Elvis,
on, let me ask him, you know parts of, hold on, please, you know parts of Africa,
You breaking up, bro. You must have
but
moved to a
now
bad
you're
area from where you was.
I want to
maybe
ask something.
I'm sounding fine.
No, you not. I'm
Who are the
literally telling you,
descendants?
you
Who
breaking
are the
up. Why would you
descendants
say you
of those
sounding
black?
fine, man?
Hey, hold on,
Man,
hold on, hold on.
what is wrong with these niggas?
Why people never talk about the descendants of those black Americans that own slaves in the United States? Why? You
What?
always there's a lot of black people that own slaves in the United States. I mean, they are form of brutal than even the white men that own slaves in the United States. People don't know much about that.
Yes, we
Why don't you
do,
go and
bro.
make
Them people was
okay,
buying
why do
back
people
their
go and make
family and other black people, bro.
you,
It wasn't
you,
just
you,
no
you lie,
super
you
black
lie,
cruel
you lie,
slave
you
masters
lie.
in America,
The
bro.
white people record it that the slave owners, the black slave owners, at least in United, are far more brutal than
And you
a
had
white
Jews
slave
that
owner.
were traitors
You
to
know,
the other Jewish people. So what you saying?
Hey, you got
You
so
had Jews that were
Africans
so
working in the
owning slaves
concentration
in
camps.
Africa today. What are you talking about, bro? It's still
so
slavery in Mauritania and places like that.
so those black elite that own slave United States who were driving Cadillac and Rolls Royce at that time. You people don't ask for the descendant for, hey, your dad make money out of me. You understand me?
What?
So
Bro, wasn't no
yeah,
black owners
yeah,
driving no
because
fucking Rolls Royces. What are you talking about, bro?
yeah. Those black slave owners, they have a big farm. They own,
These
It
niggas
was
land.
reaching,
no
boy.
Rolls Royce when slavery was around, you idiot.
So
Like, what the fuck is
sometimes
wrong with these niggas you got on this show, Kama?
sometimes they don't feed them. They don't feed them well. Sometimes they beat them up seriously, and the white people start saying, "No, you cannot make money. You have to safeguard your slaves." So you people run away from that chapter. They run to the white man, say, "Oh, the white own slave. Go and meet your black Americans who are slave owners too." You understand? It was also in Jamaica like that too.
You are
So
Hey,
stupid, bro. Like,
so
real,
don't
like,
don't
you
don't
are
come and
dumb.
blame Africans for something. For somebody to do that business, let me say, ancestors have to be
Okay,
slave dealer
Shinola, let's
before.
go with let's go with your story. If it's black people in America that own slaves, where did they come from, genius?
They're your people.
Yeah, idiot. Be quiet, stupid fuck. They came from
They're your people,
Africa,
man.
from
You run away
Africans
from
selling
that.
slaves. Genius. You
You
a
you you
dumbass,
Google
bro. I see why
you
you
go-
ain't
you
get with
go-
no black woman, because with no black woman sit by idly and be quiet and put up with the stupid shit that you be spewing, bro. You know you would have had some pushback. That's why you got with a white girl. Man, you are a
you see
dumbass.
you see
Real life,
you see
bro.
you run away from that, man. I told you there's a black slave dealer in the United States, man, also doing the business. And they were driving Cadillac, they were
It
driving
was
Dodge,
no
driving
cars during slavery,
driving Camaro,
genius. Like,
driving all
what is
kind of
wrong with this
beautiful
nigga,
cars.
bro?
Where the
Do you
descendants?
know
Why don't you go and
slavery
hold
ended
them?
in 1865, bro? Henry Ford
nigga said
wasn't around.
Rolls Royce.
There's no cars, dummy. I mean, this nigga think we was on plantations in 1985. Like,
No,
This nigga watching
you know,
Superfly. He got Superfly and Roots mixed up.
they can be horses that look like Rolls Royce. The buggy in the back and also be like Rolls Royce. They wear some kind of beautiful suit.
Bro,
with
shut
black
up, bro.
ties, with white and long sleeves in and black shoes, whipping the black people they
African
brought there.
education, a
Boy,
motherfucker, dog.
they become like the white master now, So
This
you people don't
nigga's
talk about those.
dog.
When you people talk about slave, you people talk, oh no, they buy their family. Which family are they buying? Which family are they buying? They're buying black slave from the white man to start working their farm, picking the cotton and everything.
No,
You know?
genius. You know, in 18 and 1700s, America was still mostly uncultivated, right? So if the white man could give us a piece of land for a cheap amount and keep us sharecropping, that's good business on his behalf. Genius. You don't know nothing about American history, fam.
Go and hold
And you
that
don't know
man,
nothing
man.
about
Ask that man to
African
give you
history either.
uh, all your gangster kingpins, fraudsters. They came from that man descendants. Also. I'm not generalizing it, but man, you people don't even. Some of you people are not even Africans. I don't know, man. If I have to talk about Africa, talk about Africa in
Your
Guatemala,
son
man.
not African, bro. Like we more
That
African than him.
eat cassava. People in Ecuador, those blacks over there, the Garifuna, some of
We
them
don't
and
eat
some
all
other
that shit.
Equatorial.
We eat mashed potatoes, beef stew,
You
and shit
put
like that.
you
Nigga,
some
stuff
of
is
you people,
good.
man, you put eat the white man food, and you put not even blacks anymore, man. You don't want to claim blacks. I'm the original blacks, man. The
You not
originator of
black,
black.
kid
The white man
over.
see
Ain't
me
nothing about you
when
black, bro.
the white man see me, the white man will call me black man. That
No, he will
seeing
call
you
you
calling the
a
black man.
African with a mixed breed child. He will call you
You know,
multicultural. That's
you
what the
you
fuck he
you
gonna
you
call
you
you.
know black. You be mixed with Indians and all kind of Polynesians, Chinese, and
Ain't no
and
baby.
and
We ain't
and
been mixing
and
no damn
and,
Chinese,
and,
bro. Like, what are you
and,
talking about?
and all kind of Mexicans. You know, you
Some of us
want to
say.
claim black man. You're no black man, man. I'm the real black man.
No, you not. You from the slave trader tribe. We from the Smokey Robinson tribe, man.
You're no
And that's how
deaf.
this going.
That's what I said. You're half Mexican, man. Which
I
Chinese are you?
ain't no fucking half Mexican. I'm black on both sides.
Black man. Stop claiming black man. Okay, let the white man stand and say, who is the real black man? They will
He gonna
choose
say
me.
us. He gonna say us because black identity was formed
No,
in
man.
America. It's many
Have you ever
Africans,
watched? Have you
pioneer
ever watched?
Africans that
Have you
reject
have
black
you ever
identity.
watched? Have you ever watched the Lion King? The Lion King. They didn't want to use no black American to be dancing around. All the ladies get the power. They want to look for African women that can give them the soul and everything. But watch your
Everybody
Lion
in the
King,
Lion
man.
King was animals, genius. It was
No,
animated.
have
What
you
are
ever
you
saw? Have you
talking
ever
about,
saw the
bro?
theater of it? Have you ever saw the theater of it? They didn't use no black American women to
That
start
ain't the
dancing around.
real
All
thing.
the
Okay, who was the
all the ladies
goddesses and
got
the
the power.
muses and Hercules? Black women,
They want
bro.
to bring African women, the real African
No.
women, to start doing the dance in that theater stage.
Kid Ola, this is what the white man thinks about you. Out of everybody in the Lion King, the only person that had an African accent was the monkey. That's what the white man thinks about you, bro. Rafiki.
Yeah, man. That's what the white man think about you in the United States, but not us
No, that was
Africans,
the
man.
white man think about you, bro. He said, make the monkey an African nigga. That's what he thinks
No,
about you.
no, no. That's what the white man think about you in the United States, not us Africans.
Nah, he really think the same about both of us if we being real.
No, 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 no. We ain't the same, man. Don't
It's
play
a
Exactly.
that
lot
See,
shit
of
see what
down
I'm
here, bro.
saying? It's them that's always causing a division, bro. Y'all the one that sold us. We didn't sell y'all.
you are the original jungle bunny to the white man.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Selling niggas for mirrors. You're the original idiot to the white man.
I would was they sell you for they don't even mirrors, man, for stones, bro.
Yeah, that's what your grandfather sold people for.
The goddamn trinkets.
A barrel of rum.
Your grandfather was also doing the same thing in the States to selling people
Nah.
over there.
Nah, my
Beat the hell out of
grandfather was
people, bro.
no, my grandfather was eating mangoes, chilling, and got raided one day by your granddaddy. That's what happened, man.
No, your grandpa was beat the hell out of people in the cotton field.
Nah. Yeah, nah. My granddaddy was running from the cotton field into the wood to fucking western Mississippi or something.
My granddaddy was chilling with the white man, drinking gin, cognac, Hennessy,
Definitely. Just like you got a
vodka,
white wife.
you
Yeah,
know,
the lineage goes on.
eating some fried fish, some cow legs, turkey. stepping it down with gin and Hennessy at the same time, man.
Della,
You
what
know
part
why
of Europe you from?
why
You
your
in?
granddad will be whipping the plantation feed by the black slave owner, bro.
What part of Europe you in?
Where the hell you want to go to European mind, motherfucker? I told you, motherfucker, I live in Africa, man, with my beautiful
You don't
wife.
live in Africa. Your
Who told
mind
you
lives in
that?
Europe, definitely.
I'll be
Oh,
everywhere
I
before.
thought
I'm
you
not
was in
gonna
Europe.
do I not tell you, do I not tell you I'm in everywhere? I know you're
You
kind, running around the white man,
you
begging
in
for
Africa,
convert,
bro. I
you
mean, you
know?
in Europe.
Oh yeah, I love you, baby. Can you buy me convert? Anybody gonna buy you no damn fucking convert, man, so that running around, sleeping with
It's
the
called
lady,
a
the sister, and the mother at the same time.
convertible, genius, not a convert.
I know how you put rule, you know, you put no discipline like that. You sleep with the lady you think you love, sleep with the sister, the friends, everything at the same time too.
How you gonna tell us that and you got a white wife, bro? I don't understand this. It's like telling me not to get wet and you in the swimming pool. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? You are the one that's dating interracially.
No, but you pretend to be B1 when you're not. You know?
That's why we need a
Hey,
nation, man.
have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful day, white, black nigga.
Hey, fellas, it's been late, and Kidola dropped
Ollie, you
off. He
got to
got
do better
mad.
quality control about the motherfuckers you be letting up here, bro.
Yeah. Anyway, fellas, I gotta get to sleep. It's late
All right,
over
man. Take
here.
it easy then.
I'll
All
talk
right,
to
I'll
y'all
let
later.
y'all.